In just a few moments, cars will be tearing up the track in the Sprint Showdown. But right now, it's the calm before the All-Star Storm. Let's head trackside for tonight's opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. As President and CEO of Cabarrus Regional Chamber of Commerce, Mr. John Cox offers tonight's invocation.
Lord, this NASCAR nation gathered at Charlotte Motor Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, across the United States and around the world, bows its grateful head tonight to thank you for our drivers, these teams, their companies, and their fans. We ask your blessing and provision, protection upon them tonight, and our military around the world involved in this, our great sport, in this All-Star night. And I pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Please remain standing as the U.S. Army Brass Brigade performs God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home, my home, sweet home.
Let's hear it for the U.S. Army Brass Brigade for their performance of God Bless America.
Like racing, like money, then like the NASCAR on Speed Facebook page for your chance to win $10,000 tonight on Speed. Click the like button on our NASCAR on Speed Facebook page and follow the steps to enter to win 10 grand. Stay tuned because later in the broadcast, we will show you special bonus codes. It's a sweepstakes for the drivers too. Only 3 make it into the $1 million race. Who will it be? The answers come next. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown is presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with the truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. Brought to you in part by Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Follow Sunoco Racing on Facebook. And by Turtle Wax Ice. Keep your car cleaner longer with new Turtle Wax Ice, the smarter way to shine. It's a night unlike any other all season. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is only moments away from racing in the Sprint Showdown. The feel of short track racing at a big old mile-and-a-half track. I can only think of one word: urgency.
Well, when you talk about that, this, for example, when you look at Dale Earnhardt Jr., it's time for him to not overthink this race, but just get up on the wheel and race his tail off. And if I'm in that second race, that All-Star race already, I'm going to be going to school and taking notes.
I want to be standing around taking all this in. Man, this is an event. This is a huge night. The crowd that's gathered for this race, the energy that's here. Blake Shelton had a concert. Several of the drivers were there, and they were having a good time. But every time I would talk to them and say, what's going on in your head? What do you think about your car tonight? My car's right. We're going to have a big night. Carl was the same way. He was the same Carl on TV just now. Nice, happy, really relaxed. He got ready to get up and leave. He said, boys, it's going to be on. And I just think that's so fun that we're going to be able to sit here and watch all that.
Yeah, you mentioned the event. I mean, yes, it's a race, but it's sort of part concert, carnival, everything going on out there because we don't have anything else like this all year long.
No, but the main thing right now, you walk up and down that pit road, and I promise you, every one of those drivers have got like laser beams coming out of their eyeballs because they know what's in store for them. And if they want to get in this big race, they got to do something in this preliminary race, this shootout race. They got to make it happen now.
And
Yeah.
the crew chiefs are saying, okay, I'm going to leave you out there on old tires. Good luck, buddy.
Only
Up to
40
you.
laps. That's all you have in this first race, the Sprint Showdown. 22 drivers racing for 2 positions. First and second race their way in with a last chance fan vote as well. To get you up to speed, we get ready for Sprint Showdown racing. 22 drivers trying to be the 3 who make it into the All-Star race. It's time for tonight's First Command.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal and Sprint customer, Oscar Lewis.
Drivers, start your engines!
Tensions are peaked as drivers get ready to race their way or attempt to race their way into the Sprint All-Star event. And it's time to bring in our All-Stars who will call tonight's races. Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Mike Joy. Mike, we are excited down here. We can feel the intensity.
Well, absolutely, Krista, especially in this first race where it's finish first or second or finish on the trailer and head home. All night you're going to hear exciting things like 3 wide and 4 wide and new leader and maybe learn some new terms as well.
Yeah, tonight there are no limits. Tonight you're going to call your best friend a jerk. Tonight is going to be chaotic. It's going to be insane. This is a no bars hold fight. This is a fight tonight, and it's a fight for $1 million. And trust me, everybody might be nice to each other right now, but when that green flag comes out, it is on.
And with the rule changes for the Sprint All-Star race, traditionally this has been a go for broke, bring back the trophy or the steering wheel, nothing else matters. But Larry, tonight, strategy really comes into play.
Yeah, every race in the Sprint Cup Series, we never know when they drop the green flag, if and when we're going to get a caution flag. But this is a special event tonight. And in both races, we know when we're going to have cautions. If you look at the Sprint All-Star race, the main event, we know we're going to get a caution every 20 laps, including right before that 10-lap dash at the end. And because of that, these drivers and their teams, they have a strategy. And those strategies are going to be all over the place. But on any good sports team, you better be ready to adjust that strategy.
It's Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night, and we are proud to bring it to you right here on Speed.
Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown is presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. Brought to you in part by American Ethanol. American grown, American made, powering NASCAR. And by Farmers Insurance. Call 1-800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com to find a local agent. We are insurance. We are farmers.
The All-Star event is it's huge to be a part of it. Most exciting All-Star game you can possibly go to.
You really have to earn your way into it.
Being in Charlotte, man, love that place.
Our families get to come around, the crew members, their wives.
The night race, all the fans are there in Charlotte, right there by our race teams. There's no points. It's really for the fans.
Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night has cars on track for tonight's first event, the Sprint Showdown, and here's how they will line up. A.J. Allmendinger has his first Showdown pole. He won this race in 08. Martin Truex Jr. is a 2-time winner of the Showdown. He has 4 All-Star starts. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jeff Burton in row number 2. It's a 22-car field. And as we have a look at the starting lineup, let's go down to pit road. Matt Yoakum.
Mike A.J. Allmendinger's trying to join Ryan Newman and Michael Waltrip, guys that won the All-Star race before they won their first points-paying event, so he's got some work to do. Impressive car in qualifying on the pole. Very cautiously optimistic, though, about his car in race trim. Keep an eye on the double deuce, Steve Burns.
Well, Matt Yoakum, Dale Earnhardt Jr. won the All-Star race as a rookie in 2000. He said he didn't even know what he was doing. He thinks he can get the All-Star vote, but he wants to get the All-Star win to get in the big show later on tonight, Dick Berggren.
Well, veteran Jeff Burton hasn't won a race since more than a year ago when he won his qualifier at Daytona. But for this event, he has a fast car, and he starts in the 4th position.
Cars are on the base laps for the Sprint Showdown. Crowd continues to file in here to Charlotte Motor Speedway for Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night. Pace laps for the Sprint Showdown. 3 drivers to transfer into tonight's Sprint All-Star Race. Here's your Sunoco track description of the 1.5-mile Charlotte Motor Speedway, where they've been racing since 1960 with a 24-degree banking in the corners, 5 degrees on the straightaway, and that long looping quad oval front stretch, almost 500 feet longer than the back.
You know, Mike, what I like about this race, there are 3 winners already in this race. We just don't know who they are yet.
First 2 to transfer and the fan vote. So here's the Good Sam Showdown format. 20 laps in segment 1, typical racing where caution laps do count. Then there'll be a competition yellow at 20 laps. You don't have to stop, but you can and make normal adjustments or tire changes or add fuel. The second half is only green flag laps count. That's also 20 laps. Total purse of over $700,000. The first 2 finishers advance, and 1 car goes to the rear for adjustments after qualifying, and that's the number 1 of Jamie Mack.
And guys, don't be surprised if we have an early caution in that first segment. We may see some drivers come to pit road then and get some tires and make adjustments.
If you want to win big tonight, Speed's giving fans a chance to win a cash amount. Just go to the NASCAR on Speed Facebook page and check the like button at the top of the page. If you've already registered, check the Win 10 Grand tab and get ready to enter your bonus codes. Then stay tuned, because coming up, we'll show you special codes that'll give you additional sweepstakes entries. Uh-oh, soft tire there on A.J. Allmendinger, Matt.
Mike, he just reported on the radio, possible flat tire. The team looked at it, said the left front looks low. They're up on the wall.
It looks very low, just looking at it.
And he's pitted at the far end of pit road down toward turn 1.
No, that is a flat tire.
Yeah, I mean, you may see a tire like that at a short track, but not here at Charlotte. Normally, they run about 30 PSI to start a run.
And it's getting flatter as we speak.
So Allmendinger has to come to pit road. He follows the pace car in, and that means Martin Truex Jr. will lead them down to the green flag, into the start zone here, and we're on it. Green flag in the Sprint Showdown.
Saw just a little wheel spin out of that 88 car there, getting going, but he's coming back.
Earnhardt side by side with Truex. And the Toyota leads off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Jeff Burton coming up for 3rd, Almirola 4th. Now it's Junior back to the front. Now it's Truex. Now it's Junior. And off turn 4 to lead lap 1, Junior takes the shortcut to the bottom. Dale Jr. leads the first lap.
We felt like this would be the 2 drivers that you're going to have to beat in this 40-lap race. Both of them so strong in practice.
J.J. Lealia has bumped the wall.
Boy, Junior's not going to give up that lead. He wants it back. Down into 3 he goes, and he gets the lead back.
A.J. Allmendinger pitted, but stays on the lead lap.
And 88, oh, he got a little tail happy off of 4 right there.
What we say, Darrell, no holds barred, hold nothing back.
Oh no, and this is just what Junior, you know, the fan vote, certainly everybody thinks Junior has that, but he wants to win this race.
3 car lengths between them for the lead. They have a good margin on Jeff Burton. Look at this 1 lap ago.
Yeah, watch that 88, the back end just right there. That looks very minor, but that was treacherous looking.
And J.J. Yaley battling David Rudiman there.
49 got a little loose, saw him the back kind of step out, and he shot up into the wall.
Jamie McMurray started out back, but he's on the move. He is battling Joey Logano for 8th place.
And remember, we talked about it before the green flag. He started at the tail end of the field because of unapproved adjustments on his 1 car.
Whoa,
Joey Logano,
hold on to her, Joey. He's got it.
Saved it.
He saved it.
We got another one coming inside here. Another one coming inside.
That thing just went over the hump down into 1 and it almost came around with him.
Yeah, he was all the way against the outside wall before turning it down into the corner.
Let's have another look.
Watch this, Larry. He's going to come through the tri-oval here, right out next to the wall. You get real close to that wall. You're not supposed to hit it. Looks like it's didn't affect the car that much, but he did lose some track position.
He's back to 11th, Darrell, battling Travis Kvapil to get back up into the top 10. And McMurray keeps picking him up, mowing him down. Now he's after Landon Castle for 7th place.
Well, these drivers, even if you've hit the wall like Joey Logano, we know we have a caution coming in about 13 to 14 laps to make adjustments, make any repairs that might be needed.
Tell you, A.J. Allmendinger, Larry, he is the fastest car on the racetrack. He's at the leaders are behind him right now, but he's the fastest car. We got another battle here for Logano trying to fight back. Here's Allmendinger coming off of 4.
But Darrell, he doesn't need to abuse his stuff right now. He's got a fast race car, just like I mentioned a while ago. He knows he's got a caution coming in 13 laps.
7 complete in segment 1. Caution coming at lap 20. Steve?
Mike, the only comment from Dale Earnhardt Jr. thus far, he says, I'm just a little free off the corners, a little free.
Yeah, we kind of saw that, Burns.
Coming around to complete lap 8. Dale Earnhardt Jr. out front of Martin Truex by 1 second as Rick Hendrick looks on. Here's an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, brought to you by Sprint. Martin Truex Jr. is a 2-time Sprint Showdown winner. Get unlimited access with live in-car audio and real-time stats through the NASCAR Sprint Cup mobile app on your Android-powered device. Learn more at sprint.com/speed. We are 14 laps in. That is 6 to the competition caution. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s led them all from Martin Truex. It is this man, Jeff Burton, who's trying to bring his Chevrolet from 4 seconds down up into the top 2.
Yeah, right now the 2 fastest cars that continue to be Earnhardt and Truex. With Allmendinger has a fast car, but certainly he's got a long way. He's going to have that caution to get caught up.
Darrell, I love this shot. Back in the days when we pioneered in-car cameras in stock car racing at CBS, this was the only view we had over the driver's shoulder and out the windshield.
Yeah, it's a great panoramic view, and you can see that dashboard, what little is left of it. Look at the dash in that thing, Larry. They've shrunk it down to just a gauge package.
Making everything just as light as possible. Darrell, one thing I'm seeing, which I think could pretty much be a huge factor in the decisions that's being made, they've slowed down a second over the course of these 16 laps, but I still believe if you want to win this race, I just believe if your car's driving good, you're going to need to stay out.
Just remember, Larry, I say it now, and I'll probably say it again before the night's over with. Track position is king. We've seen it week in and week out.
Now, some of the strategy has been dictated by NASCAR. For the last 3 laps of every segment they will race tonight, pit road will be closed as it is right now, so you can't stop under green just prior to the end of a segment.
Well, just think about it. A.J. Allmendinger made a green flag pit stop for 2 right side tires and did not go a lap down. They're trying to keep something like that from going on. In my book, A.J. Allmendinger and his 22 team, they have no choice. They have to stay out when this caution flies.
And that's the gamble, Larry. What if you come in and get tires and happen to win this thing, and the other guy decides to stay out, you're going to feel pretty bad when this race is over with that you didn't come in. But being up front's hard to give up.
J.J. Yaley is in the garage, and so is Stephen Light. That leaves 20 cars on the lead lap as Earnhardt flashes past the stripe to complete 19 of 20 laps in the first segment. He has opened it up on Martin Truex now to 1.6 seconds.
That'll make the first end up on Digger's back.
Yes, it will. About 180 plus miles per hour.
They finish lap 20 under green. As the field cycles through, the caution will wave as the leader is somewhere on the back straightaway. And the pace car will pick them up. And then, Larry, the question begins of strategy, and we will answer that in just a bit. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led all the first 20 laps of segment 1 of the Sprint Showdown. It's halftime in the Sprint Showdown. Competition caution. The pits will be open this time, Larry. What do you do?
If you're in the top 5 to 8, you have no choice. I think you have to stay out. But like Daryl and I were talking, somewhere there's going to be some drivers hit pit road.
You don't want a finishing strategy. You want a winning strategy. And that's what these crew chiefs at about mid-pack. Here they come from Burton on back. That's a winning move.
That was a surprise. Third place on back. Come to pit road. Dick Berggren.
And it's a bit of a surprise because crew chief Drew Blickensderfer said if the car was right, they wanted to leave him out, but they brought him in. Steve.
Well, Dick, what Pablo Montoya saying that his number 42 car is unstable. It washes the nose out when it hits the bumps. Matt?
Absolutely losing a lot of grip to talk up and down pit road, especially with the one car of Jimmy McMurray, right sides only.
And A.J. Allmendinger back on the lead lap, though late to his pit box. 6 cars stayed on the racetrack. Earnhardt, Truex, Rudiman, Stremme, Bliss, and Rains chose not to pit at the halftime break in the Sprint Showdown. The Tommy Baldwin entries, David Rudiman and Tony Raines subbing for Dave Blaney, who's out in Iowa this weekend. They've gone to the garage area. And those 3 cars got nabbed too fast exiting pit road. So they go to the tail end for the restart. It's time to show our Facebook friends the first bonus code for 50 additional entries for that $10,000 prize. Go to the NASCAR on Speed Facebook page, click the like button at the top of the page. If you've already registered, click the Win $10,000 tab and enter Speed 12. That's the bonus code. Put that in the code box. Speed 12, no spaces, no hyphens.
See, Mike, I think this is perfect. Track position is king. That's what I said. But now you got guys with tires, so this is going to really prove is staying out. This is something everybody in the whole garage is watching.
After second lap round of pit stops, only the front row cars now have not stopped. 20 laps. Green flag laps only count. The first 2 to finish, plus the fan vote winner, if he finishes on the lead lap, will advance.
Watch these guys on the front row. They got old tires. They're hot. They pick up a lot of debris.
And Dale Jr. gets away first. It looked like Truex had to pedal it a bit. He was ready to go, and Jr. started within the restart zone, but just a little bit later than Truex wanted to go.
Boy, look at Burton go around. Oh, no, that's McMurray around the outside.
Which we had been watching. Jamie McMurray started at the tail end of the field. He's one of the drivers that changed just right side tires.
And I like his line there. He's been running real high in 3 and 4 and bottom in the 1 and 2, and it was working for him coming to the caution there a minute ago.
But Truex can't let him go because only the first 2 positions count.
Whoa, McMurray got in hard, pushed up the hill. Here comes Truex right back underneath him.
The best thing that can happen for Dale Earnhardt Jr. is these 2 drivers continue to go at it like this.
Matt?
Mike, a lot of debate back and forth on the radio between Martin and Chad Johnson over whether to pit or stay out. It ultimately came down to what 88 did of Dale Jr.
Well, we had a 3-wide mess, and Jeff Burton was the slice of bologna in the middle of that sandwich, and he got bounced around really big. Watch this off turn 4.
It's just a good thing it was Jeff Burton, because if it had been anybody else, I believe it would have been a 3-car pileup right here. But Burton is so good, he was able to hold on to his car and not cause a wreck.
You know what he is now? Mad.
Yeah, he was the rock between 2 hard places there.
Burton has dropped to 8th. Junior all alone. Allmendinger coming up through. Remember, he had to make that pit stop and put him toward the back of the field, but he is marching his way forward. That yellow car is 6th.
I would not get in his way right now.
No.
He is coming with a vengeance, and he's got 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, he and Montoya both, the 42, both those drivers, 4 fresh tires.
Allmendinger tries to make the pass, and Montoya is going to give him room to go. David Stremme heads for the garage. Here's Steve on the leader.
Mike, at the competition caution, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said it started free later in the run. The front didn't roll the center as well as I'd like. Crew Chief Steve Letarte responded by saying 10-4, let's stick to the plan. Let's stay up front.
Thanks, Steve. We're also told Jeff Burton gave up 3rd place to pit on that caution because his car had gone to the tight side and didn't figure he could finish in the top 2 without a change.
Well, right now you see Steve Letarte, the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Daryl and I have been watching the scoring monitor, and he continues to beat McMurray in the 1 by about a 10th.
Yeah, but this guy right here in that yellow car, I'm telling you, it's going to get tight. He's coming, man.
The Shell Pennzoil Dodge of A.J. Allmendinger, one of the Roger Penske cars, now up to 4th and closing.
I don't know. I don't know if he can catch Dale Jr. Dale Jr.'s out there pretty much by himself, but that 22 is definitely going to get Martin Truex here pretty quick.
The Dale Jr. Foundation Chevrolet, with support from the National Guard and Mountain Dew. Dale Jr. said, I don't want to back into this thing. I want to be in the All-Star race. I want to earn my way in it.
There's a bunch of guys out there pulling for him right now. I can tell you that, because that opens up that fan vote.
We have no idea who is in 2nd place. In the fan vote, that is. In the race, it's Jamie McMurray, and he's 1.5 seconds back. Martin Truex 2 back, and Allmendinger 2.5 back.
All I can say is Dale Jr. better hope we don't have a caution, because if he does, game on with that 22.
Well, I just watched A.J. Allmendinger 3/10 quicker than our leader Dale Earnhardt Jr. on that lap.
And Larry, that will continue to do that because he's got 4 fresh tires. Junior has his tires he started on. Junior's going to get slower. Allmendinger's going to keep coming.
And Martin Truex, like Dale Jr., is running on the tires he started with. A valiant effort off turn 4 to hold Allmendinger back. But with 12 laps to go, don't think he can hold him for long. Here goes Dinger to the bottom and into 3rd.
Just so much grip with those 4 fresh tires versus these guys that don't have any.
And they are catching up. 2nd place, Jamie McMurray. Matt Kenseth and his crew chief Jimmy Fennig among those watching, seeing what they can learn in this 40-lap test before they hit the track for 90 laps later tonight.
I'd be willing to bet Jimmy Fennig's going to school a whole lot more right now than Matt Kenseth, watching what these no tires, 2 tires, 4 tires.
That was 2/10 quicker on Allmendinger that time. That was a 55 to a 35. He is on the move.
Who would have thought that a flat tire on lap 1 could turn out to produce a strategy that would get you into the All-Star race?
And we know A.J. Allmendinger wants to win this race, but he wants to get by McMurray right now because, remember, the top 2 advance to the Sprint All-Star race.
As we were looking at him going down the back, did you see how his head is down, man? He is on the...
10 to go. Truex's car in 4th climbs the hill. It's Junior out front, and this is the battle for the deciding spot. Joplin, Missouri's Jamie McMurray in the number 1. And from Los Gatos, California, A.J. Allmendinger.
He's got that, Mike. He's got it.
Nine to go.
Actually, they're both that time by. McMurray and Allmendinger were closing on Junior a couple of tenths. It may very well be that McMurray said, I'm going to save a little bit because I know this guy is coming.
Jamie Mack drops it down to the bottom to keep Allmendinger at bay.
Yeah, Allmendinger, he barreled it down in there, but as you said, Mike, McMurray just blocked it.
I believe Jamie was pretty smart, Larry. I think he was holding back just a little bit, knowing Allmendinger was coming, and then race him when he gets there.
When they get to battling, that preserves Earnhardt's lead. A little bit of extraneous debris on the nose there.
Right now, with 8 laps to go, that's probably not a bad thing. That's helping that car turn, plus helping the straightaway speed, and it's not that warm right now.
7 to go. One of these 2 drivers is going to be an all-star, and the other one is likely to have to head home.
That time by, I believe that Dale Jr. looked in his mirror and said, I need to step it up. He was a 10th quicker than the other 2 cars.
Now there's the dynamic interval at the bottom left of the screen. And it is growing just a little bit. A little up, little down.
Looked like when Allmendinger got to the back of McMurray, he just can't get enough steam to get by him now. He's in that bubble.
So, Daryl, you're A.J. Allmendinger in the 22. Do you want to pass him now and try to hold him off? or do you want to bide your time with 6 laps remaining and pick your spot?
No, you got to pounce. I think you don't have time to play games here. You got to get by him and get that second place so you can transfer. The longer he sits there, the less chance he's got of getting by him.
But Darrell, you're right. The way Allmendinger caught McMurray, I figured he would just drive by him, but it's almost he got there and he couldn't do anything.
He used it up, Larry. He was coming so fast, so hard. Remember, he came down, got 4 tires started at the back. Here he is.
How about the 1, Matt?
McMurray's spotter, Lauren Lanier, keeps telling him the 22 of Allmendinger, he's starting to get tight. Just run your line, your race.
I think that's good advice, Matt, because it looks like the 22 car just gets up to him and loses the nose when he gets up behind McMurray.
If Jamie McMurray holds the bottom of the corner in the 1 and Allmendinger is tight, AJ's going to have little opportunity to pass.
I think AJ just needs to look for go somewhere different because he's just following in the tire tracks of McMurray, and that's not working. I'd go right to the outside here, hard and heavy.
He definitely moved it up the racetrack in 3 and 4. You think about it, that's actually, yeah, a battle to get into the All-Star race, a battle for $70,000, which is what the All-Star race pays to start.
I think if Allmendinger will move around a little bit here, they're pretty equal in 1 and 2. If he'll go to the outside on McMurray in 3 and 4, he can catch him up.
3 to go.
Look back there at Allmendinger, though. Look how he's got his head down in there digging, I mean.
3 to go in this go or go home sprint showdown.
Closing. That's the line he has to run to get him.
Dale Jr. out front by 2.2 seconds. The battle is for the last transfer spot, and here it is.
What a run by Jamie McMurray in that 1 car, though. To start at the rear of the field, boy, Allmendinger got a good run then.
He didn't stay on the bottom, and here comes the dinger. They touch.
He got him pushed up off of 2.
They both lost their momentum. Allmendinger inside, and McMurray is going to have to find a way back with a lap and a half to go.
One more time, buddy. Hit your marks here.
Oh,
One more.
McMurray got the wall off 4 that time. These two guys are on the absolute ragged edge right now, driving as hard as they can go, like qualifying.
Truex well behind them, and Allmendinger pulls away.
Keep digging. No pressure.
Off turn number 4 to win the sprint showdown is the Dale Jr. Foundation Chevrolet Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Well done, buddy. Well done. Give me one
AJ
more.
Allmendinger in the Shell Pennzoil Dodge second.
Track position was king. 4 tires wasn't bad either.
No, it wasn't.
Still a heck of a race. I'll see you in here. Let's talk about it. Great job there, guys. That's how you earn a spot in.
Dale Jr. joins Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon as the only drivers to win in all 4 of our current special events. He'll make his 13th All-Star race, but this was the battle.
He just got it. It's really got him up off the bottom. McMurray got loose, and here come the dinger. Look at those things wobble around as they go down that back straightaway.
2 drivers that were at the back of the field when we completed lap 1.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and AJ Allmendinger will transfer to the All-Star race, but who will be the fan vote this year? Each presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Showdown is presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. And brought to you by Turtle Wax Ice. Keep your car cleaner longer with new Turtle Wax Ice, the smarter way to shine. And by Coors Light. A sport this hot needs a beer this cold. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer and official beer of NASCAR. Let's meet the showdown winner with Matt Yoakum.
Special paint scheme and a great run during that showdown event. What impressed you the most about your car, Junior?
You know, the guys do such a good job every week. And, you know, we work on cars, and sometimes they have short runs. They're good on the short run, sometimes they're good on the long run. And this is all about just going fast right out of the gate. And all the credit goes to the guys just putting the car out on the line with a great setup underneath it. The guys back to shop to build the car. I want to thank all of them for, you know, they kind of made that possible, giving the car the speed it needed to run like that.
You're in the race now, chasing $1 million in a special trophy. What'd you learn during this event that can help you later tonight?
I think our car's pretty good. That's what I feel like we learned. We'll work on it and try to do our best. We feel grateful to have the opportunity. Thanks Sprint and NASCAR for putting on the All-Star race. It's a great opportunity to have a lot of fun. And I want to say, hello to everybody who's donated to the foundation, the Dale Jr. Foundation. We're working really hard to raise a lot of money, help out a lot of people. That's kind of what tonight's about. We'd love to win $1 million, and we're pumped up. We think we got a good shot.
Chasing that big deposit slip, Dick Berggren.
Well, A.J. Allmendinger, you followed Jamie McMurray lap after lap after lap. Tell us how you finally got by him.
I mean, we were Pennzoil Dodge is so fast, and I mean, I get a flat tire coming to the green. Like, I'm not sure what we're doing wrong.
Get your pass. Watch it on TV.
I mean, he just had to get off the bottom. I was just aero tight behind him. I was so much quicker than him. I was just aero tight, and Jamie's good. He knows how to get around this place, so he kept making sure he got the good exit shots, and finally he just got off the bottom a little bit, and at that point I wasn't going to lift. I didn't care if we all wrecked, if I got into him or what. These guys on this Pennzoil Dodge, this Penske organization, they belong to be in this race. They deserve it more than I do, and I was going to do everything I could to get him in, or I was going to die trying.
Nice job. Well done, Mike.
Great race for A.J. Allmendinger, especially after what happened coming to the initial green flag.
That's just deflated hopes right there.
Not for that young fellow. Took that and made it a positive and made it in to the Sprint All-Star race. Still wondering who will be the recipient of the fan vote and be the third driver to transfer tonight.
As the sun sets over Charlotte Motor Speedway, so too have the chances for some drivers to race for $1 million. The Sprint Showdown in the books. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and A.J. Allmendinger advance. There you see the results. Jamie McMurray with a valiant effort. He will not race unless he is the fan vote winner. Matt Yoakum is standing by with him.
And that lucky person is the 2000 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, Bobby Labonte. Bob, what does it mean to you to have the fans vote you into the Big Money Show?
Lucky. Yeah, I mean, awesome. I mean, obviously, it's a tough race, and we're glad to be in the All-Star race. And, we didn't run like we wanted to. And we made some adjustments there at the during the halfway, and just kind of laid back a little bit, just because we knew we needed to learn some more stuff. 2 weeks ago, we weren't even coming here because we really can't do it as a single car team like we need to. Our budget's not really there yet, but thanks to Kingsford and everybody on our race car to step up and do what we can do. So Tad's in the big race, and we got our work cut out for us. I hope they let us change a lot of stuff because we need to change a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens.
Krista, it's like poker, the old saying, as long as you have a chip on the table, you're still in the game. Keep an eye on the 47 going for the big money.
What a turn of events we've already seen play out. Dale Jr. wins. A.J. Allmendinger fights his way back. Bobby Labonte is the fan vote winner. We've only had 40 laps, and we've seen all that.
It's kind of going crazy right off the get-go, man. I mean, Michael, you and I both were arguing about, well, your guy got in and I didn't and everything. And that's what we're going to see the rest of the night. It's going to be pretty much confusing.
We told the fans before the race, track position is key. A.J. Allmendinger gave up all his track position before the green flag fell. He came to pit road, had a flat tire, was almost a lap down, came back to pit road and got 4 tires during the halfway break and raced his way dramatically into the All-Star race. What a great job by this team and this driver.
Here's what you're talking about. This was before the race even went green. A.J. Allmendinger having to come down to fix that flat tire. So you think his chances are out, right?
Pretty much you thought his night was done right there, but you see the 88 right there. He had an opportunity to slide up there in that position. He took full advantage of it and was able to take, the lead and go on out there. But look at Joey Logano, hard racing right there, got together, hit that outside safer barrier, kind of took a little edge off his night.
This is the key to the race right here. The 2 leaders stay out on the racetrack, and everybody behind them that's a contender pits. Side-by-side racing, 3 wide. Jeff Burton gets in a bind there, but out front, here comes the guys that pitted. A.J. Allmendinger, that's the race to get in the All-Star race right there. Rick Murray loose off turn 2. A.J. takes advantage of those 4 tires and grabs that last spot.
And Dale Jr. got it done.
So a very happy Steve Letarte, owner Rick Hendrick, Dale Earnhardt Jr., A.J. Allmendinger, and Bobby Labonte will race in the Sprint All-Star race. We are going to head to the Speed Social Garage when we return here on Speed. It's a night unlike any other, the Sprint All-Star Race. The showdown is in the books, and it's time now to head to the biggest social media party in all of motorsports. It's the Speed Social Garage with Rutledge Wood. Hey, Rut.
Hey, Krista. We are having such a great time down here. This place is huge. Now, right over here, you see we got Danielle Trotta, Wendy Venturini, John Roberts over here just tweeting his fans. We've also got all of our different social media sites. We got our Twitter at NASCAR on Speed going. We got our Facebook. We've got everything going on down here, interacting with the fans. And for me, I've just been hanging out playing with my new Sprint phone. Their brand new Sprint Cup mobile app is insane. You can listen to any driver talk. I can watch the race live. Krista, you got to get one of these.
Well, I really do, because it has truly unlimited data. You were talking about that Sprint Cup mobile Android app. You can actually watch the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race live on Speed and get live in-car audio for every driver on the track. That means you can listen in and find out exactly what the drivers are saying, your favorite driver. You can also get live race radio and real-time stats, all without limits. I can't believe they can fit all of that into a phone. That's cool.
In
and
one
I know
place.
we're going to be checking in with you a few more times here throughout the Sprint All-Star Race coverage. It looks like a lot of fun down there. It's like a lounge.
I wanted to tweet me. Yeah, I've got mine.
All right, I'm going to go to the Social Garage. How do you like that?
Okay.
Well, we're social here, but we have a lot coming up. I mean, we just had 40 laps in the Sprint Showdown. As we said, we saw a little bit of everything, and now we have to get ready for the big race, the $1 million race, the Sprint All-Star Race.
Well, I think a lot of the crew chiefs and the drivers assumed that track position was king. Okay, now we know that's not the case. You can pit and make up a lot of ground. We saw A.J. Allmendinger do that. We saw Jamie McMurray have an opportunity to race his way in by going to pit road. So the playbook that they had opened up, they might close that baby and get another one out.
And what was I telling you, Michael? When I was saying all along, as far as the crew chief's concerned, I wanted to have an opportunity to not only get in this race by racing my way in, but I wanted to go to school and see what was going on, because the main thing is you needed to understand when you got down to these final segments, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? On the racetrack or on pit road? And right now, either one's going to be right.
And what, like my brother likes to say, what you don't know won't hurt you. And nobody knows anything right now.
That's the thing. I don't know if we learned something or if I'm just more confused than ever.
I think you're more confused, for sure.
Exactly
More
right.
confused than I started. And we're getting set for Sprint All-Star Race driver intros. It is one of the highlights of the entire season. That will be coming up. But time now for another American Ethanol Fast Fact. 86 drivers have driven in at least one All-Star race. Marcus Ambrose will make his first start in the All-Star event coming up on Speed. Tonight, get a special preview of the new Speed Series Hard Parts South Bronx. See Joe and his Tough as Nails team hunt down impossible-to-find auto parts in a cutthroat business where street rules are the only rules. Catch a special preview of Hard Parts South Bronx tonight, immediately following the All-Star Race, only on Speed. And there's a lot of activity backstage. Dick Berggren is standing by with a driver who will have to earn a win if he gets it tonight.
Indeed he will. Casey Kane with a hard hit yesterday in qualifying. We know you banged your elbow. You going to be okay for tonight?
Yeah, I'm fine. The guys have worked really hard to get our Farmers Insurance Chevy, prepared, and just like yesterday's car. Yesterday's car was really fast in practice, and hopefully we'll be able to pass some cars tonight. That's what it's all about. The showdown was really good. Junior looked solid, and there's some good racing back behind him. So I think we're going to have a good car. It should be a lot of fun.
Casey starts 20th tonight. He has won from as far back as 24th.
Thanks, Dick. Yes, Casey Kane has won the All-Star event, winning from the fan vote in 2008. You see the crowd gathering. That little guy's excited for driver intros. It's about to get loud. It's about to get wild. The Sprint All-Star Race coverage on Speed returns next. The field has been set for the $1 million Sprint All-Star Race. Time now for the coolest driver introductions of the year. Steve Burns, take it away.
Thank you very much, Krista. Good evening, race fans. I'm Steve Burns. Welcome to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for tonight's running of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race. Joining me on stage for driver introductions are Miss Sprint Cups, Jacqueline Roney, Kim Kuhn, and Kristen Beat. This is guaranteed to be one of the most thrilling nights in motorsports, and we're so glad that you could join us. For the first time ever, Sprint provided race fans the opportunity to create and upload video clips of themselves introducing their favorite drivers in the recent Sprint All-Star Announcers Contest. To our fans in the stands and Millions watching at home, you're about to see the most creative, enthusiastic, and entertaining driver introductions ever done. Thanks to our series sponsor, Sprint, and let's meet the teams getting set to battle it out for the $1 million paycheck live on Speed.
Introducing 2008 All-Star Fan Vote and winner with 12 Sprint Cup wins all the way from Enumclaw, Washington.
In the 5-car, the hottest NASCAR racer around.
It's Casey K!
Race fans, he's already twittering about how he'll be the driver in victory lane tonight. So put your hands up for the Rochester Hills native. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Blue Deuce, Brad Keselowski.
Try the number 9 car, Marcus Ambrose, the Tasmanian Devil. Let's hear it, people!
Winner of the 2004 first ever chase for the Nextel Cup, where history happens once. Driving the number 51 Chevrolet from Las Vegas, Nevada, give it up for Kurt Busch.
Well, my driver sure is one lucky dog, and he hails all the way from Batesville, Arkansas. Driver of the number 55 Airstream Machine Toyota Camry, it's Mark the Kid Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Cambridge, Wisconsin, the 2012 Daytona 500 champion, driver of the Best Buy Roush Fenway Racing Ford, and he's going to smoke these Goodyears to the ground when he wins tonight. My driver and yours, Matt Kenseth.
introducing last year's All-Star Race winner from Columbia, Missouri, number 99, Carl Edwards! Carl!
Driver from Emporia, Kansas, number 15, Clint Boyer. Woo!
What's happening, Charlotte, North Carolina? Just wanted to remind you about the 3 greatest things of Tennessee. Number 3, volunteer football. Number 2, country music. And number 1, driver of the number 21 Motorcraft Ford from Knoxville, Tennessee, Mr. Trevor Bain. Go, Trevor!
From Quito, New York, driver of the number 78 Chevrolet, your 2011 winner of the Southern 500, sleek and swift, it is Regan Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 3-time Sprint Cup champion, hailing from Columbus, Indiana, driver of the number 14 Office Depot number 1 Chevrolet, Tony Smoke
Now introducing from Vallejo, California, the number 24 car, the 4-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, the Don of the track, Jeff Gordon.
Hey, babe, I got tickets to the Sprint All-Star Race. No way! Who do you want to go see? Paul Menard! And where's he from? Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And what's he drive?
the number 27 Menard Chevrolet. Do work, Paul. Represent Wisconsin.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes 5-time driver of the number 48 Lowe Chevrolet from El Cajon, California, Jimmy Johnson.
Tonight's race?
Yes, we do.
Tell me something about him.
He's gonna be a dad soon.
Where's he from?
Bakersfield, California.
Who is it?
Driver of the 29 car, Kevin Harvick.
It is now my esteemed pleasure to introduce, from Vancouver, Washington, driving the number 16 car, new dad, Greg Biffle. Go get him, Greg. Baby needs a new set of tires.
I'm proud to introduce the King of the Commonwealth from Chesterfield, Virginia, number 11, Denny Hamlin.
From South Bend, Indiana, driving the U.S. Army car, number 39, Ryan, the Rocket Man, Newman.
Now introducing the driver whose racing philosophy is win or go home, driving the number 18 Toyota Camry from Las Vegas, Nevada, the boy that loves the sweet, Kyle Rowdy Busch.
Race fans, it's not over yet. Here to introduce the Sprint Showdown winner, please welcome Miss Sprint Cup, Jacqueline Roney.
Our next driver is starting 21st, and he is the winner of tonight's Sprint Showdown from Kannapolis, North Carolina, the driver of the number 88 Chevrolet, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And here to introduce the Sprint Showdown runner-up, please welcome Miss Sprint Cup, Kristen Beat.
All right, race fans, our next driver lines up 22nd and is the runner-up of tonight's Sprint Showdown. Now, introducing the number 22 Dodge AJ Allmendinger.
And now to introduce the coveted fan vote winner, Miss Sprint Cup, Kim Coon.
Yes, last but certainly not least is the winner of the Sprint fan vote. Once again, Sprint asked you, the NASCAR fans, to choose one driver to compete in tonight's starting lineup. Over 2.4 million votes were cast via NASCAR Sprint Cup mobile and online at NASCAR.com and Sprint.com/speed. When the votes were tallied, the NASCAR fans spoke loud and clear, starting 23rd, and the winner of the 2012 Sprint fan vote from Corpus Christi, Texas, driving the number 47 Toyota, make some noise for your 2000 Sprint Cup Series champion, Bobby Lombardi!
And there they are, race fans, the starting lineup for tonight's NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race, live right here on Speed from the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race is presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. Brought to you in part by Good Sam. If it's not Good Sam, it's not good enough. Call or click now. And by Castrol GTX. Castrol GTX helps extend engine life. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. No other sport includes the fans like NASCAR. Those driver introductions were really cool. And did I see a man from the shower introduced a driver? Now that's unique.
Yeah, you did. And I like that. And then there was a dude just standing in an alley doing it. So
Yeah.
could you imagine walking by there and hearing him shouting out that introduction? I just love the fact that we involved the fans. But you know what I love the most? The crew members are up on the stage and the fans are all high-fiving them. Tonight's a big night, not only for the driver and the owner, but for these guys. They're able to participate in the driver introduction. We had the big pit crew competition that they were the stars of the other night. And that helped determine the pit road selection for tonight's race. So a big week.
And the thing is, Chris, I went outside during this introduction. We had a little bit of downtime. I couldn't believe how loud the crowds and how really big it really is. I mean, you can feel the energy right now. Everybody's getting into it. They're having a big time, and we're going to have ourselves a grand finale tonight in this event. It's going to be awesome.
You went outside. We thought you were playing hooky.
No.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. won the Sprint Showdown. You mentioned the Pit Crew Challenge. Jimmy Johnson's team won that. Things are going very well for Team Hendrick right now. It was just a week ago that Jimmy Johnson won at Darlington. It was Rick Hendrick's 200th win. Mr. H is now Mr. 200. And recently, Steve Burns sat down with Rick Hendrick to talk about that milestone win and how things are going for his organization.
Rick is 200. I mean, in our sport, it's a big milestone number, right? Richard Petty won 200. It's a huge milestone. But is it, I was thinking about this morning, how significant is that number to you?
Saturday night when we
hit 200, it was like a milestone, like the first championship. It was, you climb this mountain and you can look back and say, you know, that's a lot of races. And you think about how many times the Southern 500 or the Daytona 500 or Indy. And I think the feeling was you wanted to thank all of the guys, all of the drivers, all of the crew chiefs that had been there, and just that it was something very special, and something that I love, but I never thought I'd get to do. The key to what we've been able to do over the years is having everyone pulling in one direction. Every team wants to beat the other team, but at the end of the day, when it counts, they're all standing there together, and they're going to celebrate it. And Earnhardt's not as happy as Jimmy is, and Jeff isn't as happy, or Casey, because they all wanted to be the one. But at the end of the day, they were part of it, and they've all, you know, contributed.
Powerful pictures and a really amazing interview. You can hear more of Steve Byrne's chat with Rick Hendrick coming up this week on NASCAR Race Hub. And Matt Yoakum is standing by with the driver who gave him win number 200.
Krista, many memorable moments on Jimmy Johnson's racing resume. Twice he has taken home the big money and the special trophies here at the Sprint All-Star event. And Jimmy, the unique format tonight is the first segment, the one that really sets the tone, and the most important one, except for the $1 million segment tonight.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you can control this first segment and win, it just makes the rest of the night easier. It's not easy to win this race at all, but you know, then again, we're all shooting for that, and who knows, on the start of the final segment, the front two rows may all wreck, and the guy in fifth comes through and everything's fine. But we want to control as much as we can. We were able to start that by winning the picture competition on Thursday. We didn't control qualifying, but we have a decent start here, and if we go out and win this first segment or even the second segment, it's going to make the night a lot more easy.
Krista, he's run from mid-pack and the front row, and not to forget about what tonight's all about, even on the back of his helmet. George Washington riding with the champ here tonight in Charlotte.
It's hard to fit someone else in those cars, but yeah, Jimmy manages to do it. Jeff Gordon, a three-time winner of this event. We will get you ready to go racing next on Speed. Bobby Labonte chatting with his team. He will be racing for $1 million. And Bobby sent out this message to all of his fans who voted him in to the Sprint All-Star race. He will be racing, he says, for you tonight. Bobby, racing for $1 million. Do you like racing? Do you like money? Then like the NASCAR On Speed Facebook page for your chance to win $10,000 tonight on Speed. Click the like button on our NASCAR On Speed Facebook page and follow the steps to enter to win 10 grand. Stay tuned, because later in the broadcast, we will show you another special bonus code that will give you 50 additional sweepstakes entries. Teams are getting ready. All the big names are in this race because it is NASCAR's All-Star race. A powerhouse night. The energy is higher. The celebration is bigger. Trevor Bayne racing in his first All-Star event. He was supposed to race last year, but fell ill. He said he is not going to waste any time. He is ready to be a leader tonight. Winning has never been more important. It will all happen. Short track style racing at a big old 1.5 mile track. We return you trackside.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the 14th Weather Squadron, United States Air Force out of Asheville, North Carolina, present our nation's colors. Please remain standing as Coach Joe Gibbs offers tonight's invocation.
Shall we pray? Father, we just want to thank you for letting us live in a great country like this. You allowed us to be in a country where we have freedom of choice and get to do fun things, to enjoy an event like tonight, when most people around the world are struggling just to have enough to eat. We want to say thanks to you. We pray for our armed forces serving around the world. Put a hedge of protection around each one of them and bring them home safe. And Father, most of all, we want to thank you. You're an all-powerful, all-knowing, and all-loving God. You loved us enough to make us, knowing we were going to disappoint you, and you were willing to send your only Son, Jesus Christ, to this earth. He lived a perfect life, and you allowed him to go back to that cross so that we would have a way back to you. Father, we pray for protection tonight for everybody racing, for everybody going home. And Father, we just thank you for loving us the way you do. Amen.
Please welcome finalists from NBC's hit show The Voice Season 2, Tony Lucca, as he performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Drivers getting ready. Electric, the best way to describe the atmosphere. Under the lights, everything is heightened. Bragging rights, glory, $1 million. You win tonight, you get all three. We will go all-star racing from the Charlotte Motor Speedway next on Speed. 23 drivers, $1 million. The best in the sport are about to battle it out under the lights on NASCAR's most energetic night. There's a lot of energy down on the track. The drivers know this is their shot. They only have 90 laps to make it happen. The buildup has been rising all week. This is its crescendo. So if this is NASCAR's most energetic night, how is the energy in the Speed Social Garage? The fans have voted in Bobby Labonte into the race. What are the fans doing with you, Rut?
Hey, Krista, we've got a lot of great stuff going down here in the Social Lounge. Dale Jr.'s been trending. The Dinger was trending. Right now, though, we got a special guest, Joe Fair. He is the boss from the new Hard Parts South Bronx, coming up after the All-Star race. Now, I know you have to be excited. It's your first All-Star race, and your show's premiering tonight. How you feeling right now, bud?
It's pretty awesome seeing those cars go around that track so fast. It was pretty unbelievable. It's the first time for me, and hope to get to do it again.
Now, you guys are slinging parts there every day. You got your boys out there going crazy. When can we bring them to a race?
Hopefully we'll bring them soon. Hopefully we get a second season. The show's great, a lot of excitement. We'll, bring them down next year.
Who's your pick for tonight?
Dale Earnhardt Jr., I guess.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. We certainly know he's been trending. He's going to keep trending, Krista. And if you get a break, you should come join us. It's great down here. We're loving it.
It looks like a lot of fun. And Rutledge, you're surrounded by quite a lot of ladies, so I'm sure you are enjoying it very much. We want to thank Joe. And I'm not going to do a South Bronx accent, but we look forward to seeing that premiere coming up right after the All-Star race tonight. Carl Edwards knows what it's like to win this event. He did it last year. Will he be able to repeat, or is it another driver's turn to take home $1 million? You see the focus in his eyes. Jeff Gordon, he is looking for a reason to smile. This could be his night. It's time for the command.
Drivers, start your engine!
And that's the way to fire the engines. He had a lot of energy. That's perfect for a night like tonight with Jeff Hammond and Michael Waltrip. Are you guys ready?
Hey, they said it in the movie Top Gun. Right now, we have a need for speed. It's time to go.
Love it. Love it. I'm ready.
All right, we know we're ready. How about the gentlemen upstairs? Mike Joy, Larry McReynolds, Darrell Waltrip. Are you ready to go All-Star Racing?
Absolutely. You know, I think if Charles Kettering hadn't invented the automobile self-starter for Cadillac right after the turn of the last century, they just could have used that guy. I mean, he's got this party started. Tonight, it's all about the fans. And for the drivers, it's all about $1 million. Some racing for charity, some racing for their team, but everybody racing to have their name on that trophy because, Darrell, nobody cares who finishes second tonight.
No, but one of the things you got to worry about as a driver is there are no limits. And so you can't let your guard down. You can't assume anything. You can't underestimate your competition. Just because a guy cut you slack last week at Darlington, you can forget that tonight. So you got to be on your toes. You got to be on defense all the time because they're coming after you, Ricky Bobby.
And with 4 segments prior to the 10-lap shootout, Larry, if you win one of those 4 segments, if you're leading at the end of one of those segments, you get the advantage of being first onto pit road for the mandatory final stop. So certainly that will change some race strategy. But if you don't win one of these segments, you've got to change your game plan, and who knows what to expect.
Well, we just saw the preliminary race, and realistically, there were 6 to 8 drivers in that race that could win it. Now this is the big event. 23 of the best drivers in the world in my book, and the game changes a little bit. I don't think we can throw down the gauntlet and say absolutely 4 tires will be the way to go because the competition is pretty tough in this race. I think strategy will be all over the board.
Expect to see a lot of different strategies. And as usual, expect a surprise outcome in the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race live on Speed. Speed's coverage of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. And brought to you in part by American Ethanol, American grown, American made, powering NASCAR. And by Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com. Watch a free video. Go affordably. Go RVing.
You're there for the win. You got to bring it back with just a steering wheel in your hand, and that's fine too.
I've been in a lot of wrecks at the All-Star race because everybody's going for it. Put $1 million in front of us. Everyone's going to go for it.
Put him in the wall!
Giving it all for $1 million.
Into the wall goes Kyle! Into the wall goes Kurt!
It's $1 million on the line, and we all go for it.
They're on the pace laps for the Sprint All-Star Race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here is the starting lineup. Kyle Busch, 3rd pole in his 7th All-Star race, finished 2nd last year. Ryan Newman, the 2002 winner. Denny Hamlin, his best All-Star start in 6 races. And Greg Biffle, the Sprint Cup point leader. Kevin Harvick, the 2007 winner. And Jimmy Johnson, the only repeat winner in the last 13 years. Paul Menard's first All-Star appearance and 3-time winner, Jeff Gordon. Tony Stewart, the 2009 winner. And Regan Smith, who won last year's Southern 500. Trevor Bayne, the 2011 Daytona 500 winner. He's an All-Star rookie. Clint Bowyer is in his 4th All-Star race. Carl Edwards, the defending champion, and David Reagan makes his 2nd All-Star start. Matt Kenseth, the 2004 winner, and Mark Martin, a 2-time winner. Kurt Busch, All-Star winner in 2010, and Marcos Ambrose makes his 1st All-Star start. Brad Keselowski, his 5th appearance. Casey Kane won the 2008 race from the fan vote. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the 2000 winner, and A.J. Allmendinger making his 2nd start in this race. And Bobby Labonte is the fans' choice to make his 17th All-Star appearance. Here is the Ram race format for tonight's All-Star event. 4 segments in which green and yellow laps count, 20 laps apiece. Then a mandatory pit stop, and then the 10-lap shootout. Green flag laps only will decide it. Down to the Dean of Pit Road Reporters, Dick Berggren.
Well, Mike Joy, you had promised some surprises tonight, and one of the surprises could be a winner that comes out of the back of the pack. And I like Brad Keselowski because this is his kind of race. He's a hammer-down kind of guy who doesn't take any fooling around from anybody else. Matt Yoakum.
Dick Berger, no driver, really steps up and produces in pressure-packed situations more than Jeff Gordon. So without any points on the line tonight, it should be a walk in the park. He's won this event 3 different times. All 3 wins came from 7th or worse in the field. Alan Gustafson told me they'll know by lap 5 whether they're going to be money or have some work to do to the 24 car to chase the big money. Steve Burns.
Matt, 3rd pole in 7 All-Star appearances for Kyle Busch. Surprisingly enough, he's never won an All-Star race. This is his kind of event, right? I talked to the guys on the team just moments ago, and they said Kyle Busch is all kinds of jacked up for tonight's All-Star event, Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve.
Let's take a look at this 1.5-mile track here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 24 degrees of banking in the straightaways. Front stretch 1,980 feet, back stretch 1,500 feet. Going into the corner, well over 190 miles an hour.
That's our Sunoco track description. Check out the NASCAR on Speed Facebook page. Click the like button at the top of the page, and if you've already registered, click the Win $10,000 tab. Get ready to enter your next bonus code. Stay tuned, because coming up we'll show you special codes to get additional sweepstakes entries. Now, a new wrinkle this year, the leaders of each of the first 4 segments will line up at the front of the pack to make the mandatory pit stop after segment 4. The requirement is, however, that each of those leaders must be on the lead lap or be the free pass car at the end of lap 80 to be eligible for one of those front 4 positions. So things could change there regardless of who wins those segments. Now, if you've already won a segment and you win another one, you're already in. So the second place car in that later segment will be elevated to the front 4.
Lots of strategy, man.
Here we go, All-Star Racing.
Yes, sir. Can't you hear my heartbeat?
Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go All-Star Racing for $1 million, boys!
Kyle Busch on the brake. Newman fights with Hamlin for second. They fan off turn number 3 wide, mid-pack. But Kyle Busch has a 2, make it 3, 4-car length lead off into turn number 3. Second in doubt as they come to the line for lap 1. Kyle Busch the leader. Newman second by a nose. Greg Biffle got a little loose on the bottom and surrendered the 4th spot to Jimmy Johnson. Stewart right behind Biffle in 6th, then Menard. And Jeff Gordon.
I've been watching Jeff Gordon in that 24 car. He has been working up near the top of the racetrack, and he has been making some passes.
Yeah, Larry, that first lap right at 190 miles an hour average around this joint. They are on it.
Gordon said he was disappointed in his on-track performance during qualifying. So he comes out of 8th position. He's gained 1.
I don't care what race you're running, how long, how short. Right now, you're just trying to figure out what you got. What did I need to do to my car? Is my car good, or do we need to work on it?
Jeff Gordon outside Paul Menard. This is for 7th. And for 3rd, Jimmy Johnson drops to the bottom of the racetrack on the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
Well, this is a racetrack. Rick Hendrick loves Martinsville. He loves Daytona, but this is home. He wants those cars of his to run up front and win races. Dale Jr. already won the preliminary. Watch this 48 car. He looks strong.
Boy, Hamlin's going to fight back, though, because he got the momentum on the top of the racetrack off of turn 2.
Johnson sends it in to turn number 3 and takes over the 3rd spot, though.
He did, Mike. He drove that thing in there until he could see Elvis.
Paul Menard fended off Jeff Gordon, who battles with Boyer and Ambrose. There's Boyer, Gordon, and the 9 of Marcus Ambrose, who's come from 16.
I don't know, Larry, I'm not sure Jeff Gordon was happy with his car in the practice yesterday. Never had the speed in it. Didn't seem to get the handle on it.
But I will say those two Fords we watched there, Marcus Ambrose in the 9, Carl Edwards in the 99, they're definitely moving to the front.
Greg Biffle to the inside of Hamlin now. This is for 4th place.
Whoa. Boy, he had his hands full.
That's the second time that's happened to Biffle where the car would not hold the bottom.
They're just trying to carry so much speed through the corners here.
Kevin Harvick, 29 to the inside.
I just think that Biffle has just maybe not got the handle on his car right now. Lost the nose a little bit. That's what got him in trouble. You get in that air off the car in front of you, you lose the nose.
Harvick to the inside. He's going to make the pass on Biffle and maybe bring Menard's 27 with him. On the right of your screen, 2nd place, Ryan Newman, Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, Newman in the 39 is running the bottom of the racetrack. So Jimmie Johnson in the 48, he has started kind of moving up a groove, seeing if he can get by on the outside of Newman. You'll see it right here in 1 and 2.
Steve Burns.
Mike, Ryan Newman saying the car is just a little bit free in 3 and 4, but otherwise it's good.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Newman. He's holding off Jimmie Johnson. He's running pretty decent lap times right now, about the same as Kyle Busch. Got a good run going.
9 complete this time by. First scheduled competition caution will be at the completion of lap 20.
I think you see what Jimmie Johnson's doing. You cannot follow in the guy's tire tracks. You've got to go to the outside, or you got to go wherever he's not.
And he almost didn't have any room left to go.
But look what it did for him, Mike. You get that momentum off the outside there, going down the back, you make the pass. That's what Jimmy's got to be able to do.
And I don't think Jimmie Johnson will be content. Cannot stress the importance of winning one of these 4 segments.
I just think that team, that company right now, winning last week at Darlington, got that 200th win. They won the Pit Crew Championship Thursday night. I think they got a lot of big mo on their side.
Well, if you can be the leader at the end of these first 20 laps, you can be the first car onto pit road after lap 80. Kyle Busch with an 0.8 of a second lead from Johnson, Newman, Hamlin, and Biffle. Then Harvick, Menard, Boyer, Gordon, and Edwards, last year's winner. You're riding with Carl Edwards. An American Ethanol fast fact: 5 drivers have gone on to win the Sprint Cup Championship after winning the All-Star race in the same year. Darrell Waltrip, Dale Earnhardt 3 times, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon 3 times, and Jimmie Johnson in 2006. Tony Stewart may have gotten into the wall there. He's alongside Brad Keselowski. See what happened to Smoke here.
Yeah, right here again, when you're following in the tire tracks of the guy in front of you, you lose the nose. You saw the car just scoot out, and it wasn't just a scrape. He hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, I don't think his car was driving very good, Matt, because he started 9th and he's fallen all the way almost outside the top 15, Matt.
You've hit on it perfectly, Larry Mack. He said the first few corners, the car was on the free side. Now it's absolutely tight. That 14 car, he's fighting a bad push.
And that's what it looked like. Darrell coming up off the corner of the front end, just he was turning the wheel, it wasn't responding.
Right, you got a tight car, and then you get in that air from the car in front of you, and you just lose the nose, and he hit the fence.
Riding with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's picked up 5, make it 6 positions, perhaps, after starting this race 21st.
I tell you, Junior's he's making a nice move, but Allmendinger's both start in the back, and look what they've done. They are moving up through the field. They got 2 really good race cars. We know that.
The good thing, those 2 drivers had 40 laps under their belt with their race car before this race.
For the lead, coming off turn number 4, Kyle Busch gives Jimmie Johnson room on the high side. Here he comes. 5-time to the front.
Well, again, we've talked about winning a segment, that it puts you one of the first 4 drivers to come to pit road. But in my book, just think about it. At the end of the 3rd segment, it gives you free 4 tires because you have nothing to lose.
Good point. We'll see how it plays out. 6th place here. Paul Menard and Kevin Harvick. Whoa, did they get together? They're teammates.
Boy,
what's that about?
Harvick got in the wall pretty hard too, Mike. You see it cost him some momentum. Here comes Boyer making a move on the inside of Harvick after making contact with the wall. I think these 2 guys were really not getting they were having a failure to communicate here. There's a little nudge.
Coming up off of 2 right there.
Harsh says, hey, we're on team.
And now this next one, we've seen before. When somebody passes and tries to close up on Harvick, he's going to give him a little bit of a tattoo to let him know he wasn't happy. But that time, Steve, it cost Kevin.
Yeah, and Kevin was not happy about that. He said he just ran into me off the 2. You tell him he wants to hit me, I'll hit him back. It's the All-Star race.
But look what it did. Who's the loser? Who did it hurt? I mean, that was minor what happened off of 2. What happened off of 4 has probably put him in jeopardy.
But, Darrell, we've seen it time and time again in an all-star race. Teammates wrecking teammates. We even saw a brother wreck his other brother before.
All right, pit road is now closed, as it will be in the last 3 laps of every one of these first 4 segments. That way, no driver who's far out front could pit and get an advantage when the caution comes out a couple of laps later.
Yeah, because you could, if you're like a Jimmy Johnson, you hit pit road right now, you could make a stop and come back out and not lose a lap.
19 complete this time by Jimmy Johnson has checked out on Kyle Busch by 1.3 seconds. After they complete lap 20, we'll see the first competition caution.
Well, there was a time when Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus owned this joint. They repaved it. Hadn't had that dominance, but that car tonight is in a league of its own.
Stewart side by side with Mark Martin. Casey Kane coming into that battle.
Yeah, I definitely think Tony Stewart at 14 will be glad to see that caution.
Here's the move for 3rd at the line, and Newman holds off the 11 of Denny Hamlin. And the caution waves. 20 complete. Jimmy Johnson has put himself in good position by leading the first segment. If he stays on the lead lap the rest of the way after segment 4, he will line up as the first car to come on to pit road. 2 of the Richard Childress Racing Chevrolets got together a couple of times here.
Yeah,
Paul
and
Menard
really,
and Kevin Harvick.
And really and truly, I mean, this is racing right here. You get it, make just a slight misjudgment. You're trying to get back in behind. Menard's trying to get in behind Harvick, but it ticked Harvick off, and he comes back over. You see, they go down the back here when they get into turn 4 right here. Instead of giving the man a break, Harvick wants to pay him back, and who does it hurt?
Kevin
It
Harvick.
was just not a good time, not a good move on Kevin's part.
So this is the first competition caution tonight. Pitting is optional.
Jimmy Johnson has nothing to lose now because he knows when we get to that end of that 4th segment, he's going to be the first driver to hit pit road.
Well, we know that 29 is going to have to come pit road. He's got damage. 14's got some damage. So some of these cars have got to come to pit road just to get some new tires to get the fenders off of them.
All right, pit road's still closed, so let's take an inside look at what's happening in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Ryan Newman came from 27th to win the All-Star race in 2002. That's the deepest in the field that a winner has started. Get unlimited access to the Sprint Cup Series with live in-car audio and real-time stats. Learn more at sprint.com/speed. Pit road will open next time by. These caution laps between segments do not count. The scoreboard frozen at 20 laps.
I would not be surprised to see one of those drivers up there in the top 5, maybe 1 or 2 of them, try to roll the dice, and stay out and get in that clean air. I think we'll see a number of drivers come to pit road for 2 tires. If you're at the back, you're probably going to get 4 and adjustments.
Well, in the previous race, we saw Dale Jr. stay out. He won the race. We saw the 22 of Allmendinger come in, get 4 tires. He ran second. There really isn't a bad strategy. It really depends on your car and how it's handling.
Allmendinger made some moves, came from 18th on the grid to 12th. Dale Jr. from 21st to 15th. And Brad Keselowski from 19th to 13th. Some, perhaps not all, of these drivers will pit under this first competition caution.
Got to believe Casey Kane, Larry, will be somebody who wants to come in. That car, the backup car, come in, maybe make some adjustments on it.
Dick Berggren.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was told, plan on coming in at the last minute. They said, stay out for Earnhardt.
Well, you know why? Because the 48 came in.
Steve.
Kyle Busch says, help me on entry and exit. He says it got freer the longer I ran, especially when I got on throttle. Ryan Newman is loose in 1 and 2, Matt.
Jimmie Johnson said in the pre-race, the first segment sets the tone for him. Going to pull a piece of tape off the grill. The car was running warm. He said the car free early in the run, and especially when he was out front, but he was pleased.
Lots of 4-tire changes, and it looks like a little bit of surgery on the right side of Kevin Harvick's car after bouncing off the wall and picking up a bit of that signature Sprint yellow paint. 20 laps complete on Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night, live on Speed.
I'm just going to let Stevie call you in, whatever you're going to do here. You just plan on coming. I'll call you off if it's not. I want you to plan on pitting. Okay?
There's a method to his madness.
No, how many? I want you to stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out. We need that. We'll take that. We'll take.
That was Steve Letarte. Pretty happy that his driver, Dale Jr., will start outside of row 3. 7 drivers did not pit. And after everyone else came in and pitted, Jimmie Johnson came back in a second time.
There's a method to his madness. Right. His work is done. He won the first segment. He's going to be the first driver on the pit road before we have that, when we have that caution before the 10-lapper.
Time to show our Facebook friends the bonus code for 50 additional entries for that $10,000 cash prize. Go to the NASCAR on Speed Facebook page, click the like button at the top of the page. If you've already registered, click the Win $10,000 tab and enter All-Star 12 in the code box. All-Star 12, no spaces, no hyphens.
Yeah, Mike, everybody said the emphasis was on that first run.
This supports what I'm talking about. Look at Jimmie Johnson. Look how far back he is of that pack. There's a reason he's doing that.
He's a lonely guy.
He's taking care of that race car.
But now that segment's over, now all the emphasis is on this segment. Jimmy's got to stay on the lead lap to keep that front 4 spot. Denny Hamlin brings them to green against Paul Menard. He and Marcus Ambrose get going. Kevin Harvick spent a long time on pit road with right side damage and got back out there, tail end of the pack.
Jimmy wants to be back just far enough to miss all the debris. That's all he wants to do, because this is a segment where it's probably going to get a little crazy.
Good bit of slice and dice here, because if you lead segment 2 at the end of the segment, you have the same opportunity as Johnson.
Here's a driver on the move, Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of our 7 that stayed out. He's worked his way into the top 5.
Well, he knows, Larry, what his car will do on 20-lap tires or 40-lap tires. So he's in pretty good shape right here.
3 wide, Edwards under Kyle Busch, who now slides up behind Ryan Newman. First 7 drivers on the racetrack did not pit.
And that really made Letart's call a little easier when he saw everybody, oh gosh, who got in the wall? 51 car, hard in the wall, all 4 still going.
That was Kurt Busch. You see his Monster Energy car climb the hill.
Yeah, he's got
and keep going.
A lot of damage to the right side.
You know, the driver I want to watch, 18, Kyle Busch. He's the first driver there to have 4 fresh tires.
Third place, Menard holds off Kenseth.
Oh, look at this.
Junior.
Look at this. Oh, my gosh. Ah! I didn't think they were going to make it, boys, and I'm still not sure they're going to make it.
Hold on, Dinger.
Look at Mark Martin in the 55. He'll make her 3 wide at the bottom.
Yeah, Mark says, hello. I'll just be coming right through here. Thank you very much.
3 by 3 by 3. 9 cars under the blanket.
Still 3 wide.
That can't last.
Nice and easy. Still 3 wide. Clear high.
Casey
Clear high.
Kane up the middle in the 5.
Kurt Busch in that 51 just will not give up.
Well, let me tell you, this is about the most 3 wide side-by-side racing I've seen maybe all year.
See, Tony Stewart in the 14 came to pit road, got some of that damage fixed, as well as Kevin Harvick in that 29 car.
Boy, this is a gaggle back in here, man. It's a little mini wad.
I think Casey Kane was the big winner out of that pack.
If you just come out of the front of this pack without damage, you're a winner.
What do you think Jimmy Johnson's sitting back here thinking?
Oh, trouble
Carl.
for the defending winner. Carl Edwards has brought the caution out.
Whole right front's on fire on that baby.
Blow up, is that what you said, bud? Yeah, it's either that or, yeah, I think it blew up.
I think you're right, Carl.
Daryl, you talked about it earlier in the day. This is a race where engine guys get a little aggressive to see how much they can push the envelope.
I heard one of the tuners say we always have parameters and we can only go so far when we get ready to race. Tonight, we have no parameters. Make the most power you can make and keep your fingers crossed.
And all these engine builders know, you know, we've got some really good 300-mile parts. We got some good 500 and 600-mile parts. We're going to throw everything at it tonight, and it's only going to last a little over 200 miles, right?
This is a tune-up, baby. A tune her up and let her go. Man, that thing exploded. Look at all that fire coming out of there.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard parts there come apart.
Something really important broke in that motor.
Yes, it did. Carl Edwards, our winner from a year ago, probably will end up dead last tonight.
So we're under caution for the first time tonight other than the competition yellows. Pit road will be open this time as they come around to complete lap 27.
Yeah, the only drivers I possibly would see coming to pit road would be some of the drivers at the very back. Kurt Busch in the 51, that would be one that I might suspect come to pit road to get some tires and some adjustments on that car.
Yeah, he's going to need a little body work.
And there comes Brad Keselowski in the 2. He's one of the drivers that stayed out. Evidently, he felt like I was not making any ground. Let me come get my tires now. That may let me stay out during that next caution. Dick Bergman at lap 40.
Keselowski's car was just too tight, Larry. They decided they needed to come in and fix it now rather than later.
Kurt Busch is in, Kevin Harvick, Trevor Bayne, and Jimmy Johnson is back in yet again. Let's show you how Kurt Busch got right side damage similar to Kevin Harvick's.
Yeah, he got pretty hard contact with the ball off of turn 4, I think it was. See him, I think he's up on the outside back there. Here he comes, bam. Hit that thing hard.
See him working on some damage on Kurt Busch's 51 car.
You know, Nick Harrison's crew did a great job in qualifying yesterday here. We beat him up on him a little bit during the Southern 500 because Kurt would gain positions on the racetrack. They'd lose some spots on pit road. They did a great job in qualifying, and they've got a lot of work to do again tonight. You can see the Hendrick uniforms, the cars for James Finch's team, and the engines and the crewmen come from Hendrick Motorsports. Well, Jeff Michael, a segment and a half in the books. What do you think?
I like the way these guys are racing. Like Daryl said, there's so many 3-wide passes and guys shooting the middle, diving low. Shows you that there's desperation around about 10th or 11th. The first few guys are able to set sail, but back in the pack, it's intense. I do see Denny's tires going off. We saw how much different the tires made for Allmendinger in the showdown. Denny's tires up front, he and Marcus Ambrose, they start to fade. Maybe there's some racing at the front at the end of this segment.
We're going to see a lot more of this, Michael. I mean, the thing is right now, we've been debating whether the 48 was racing smart or not. Are with what they were going to do. Right now, they're putting themselves in position to win $1 million, and the rest of these guys are starting to realize that the time and the clock is running out. Each one of these segments are going to go by faster and faster, Krista.
It's like that word you said, desperation.
Desperation.
Right now, Dick Berger is with Carl Edwards.
Well, if you can't win it, it's the All-Star race. You may as well be spectacular. Fire everywhere.
Yeah, that's not good. Fire's not good. And the car was going backwards a little bit. I don't know if we were leaking a little bit of oil. It was really loose, but last year was so awesome to win this thing. Our Fastenal team was geared up. We were running really well the first segment, and yeah, I knew something wasn't right there. I'm just glad nobody ran me over because it's a really fast race car. And this race lost a driver, but it gained a fan. I'm going to go watch this thing because it was insane in traffic. So I think we can get forward to victory lane. Hopefully I can be here to see it.
It is a good race. We're sorry you're not going to finish in it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Dick. Carl Edwards, first car out of the race tonight. Everyone else is still on the lead lap, so no free pass car on this caution. Denny Hamlin, your leader. Marcus Ambrose from 16th to 2nd has had quite a drive tonight.
Yeah, Marcus actually went quite a ways forward in that first segment, so got a pretty good piece tonight so far in that 9 car.
That 9 car's been fast on a number of occasions. They just need to get up there and close out one of these deals.
Mark Martin, the Aaron's Toyota. Here's an American Ethanol fast fact. Mark Martin's 23rd All-Star race, more than any other driver in what is now the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
And he was pretty racy there just a minute ago, too. He wasn't leaving anything on the table tonight.
Currently 11th. Lining up next to Casey Kane. 30 complete, halfway through segment 2. The leader at the end of this segment will be the second car onto pit road for the mandatory pit stop after lap 80. Speed owns the most anticipated weekend of the racing year with non-stop coverage of Formula One Monaco, NASCAR's Coca-Cola 600, the latest breaking news from Indy, and more of the greatest racing on the planet all Memorial Day weekend long. Right here on Speed. You can't get racing's greatest weekend anywhere else.
It's absolute. Monaco in the morning, Indy in at noon, and the Coke 600 Sunday night. How can it get any better than that?
Rallycross right here Saturday evening.
Okay, we'll throw that in too. That's a warm-up.
You bet.
Mike and Daryl, our top 5 drivers, they're drivers that stayed out on that last caution. And you got Clint Boyer, 2 fresh tires, Kyle Busch with 4, and then Ryan Newman in 8th, changed 2 on that caution at lap 20.
And Jimmy Johnson taking strategy in this race to a whole new level as he will restart some 12.5 seconds back of the pack. There he is out of turn 4 as we go back to green. Never mind Johnson, his spot. Oh, contact.
And do you understand Jimmy Johnson's strategy now?
Do now, as Paul Menard was the man in the middle that time.
Actually, I'm not. That's probably not Jimmy's strategy. Jimmy's strategy would be up there trying to win another segment.
Ambrose for the lead. 2-time champ of the Australian V8 Supercars battles Denny Hamlin off 4. He wasted no time coming to the front, but Hamlin will lead this lap.
One thing I'm seeing with these cars tonight, now when you get side by side, like going into turn 1 right there, the car on the inside usually gets a little sucked and pulled around. I don't see that happening tonight.
How about Kenseth, though, in that 17? He works to the inside of Ambrose.
Second place for Kenseth, and here comes Junior.
Here he goes, right on the bottom. Nice move. I tell you,
there you go. No pressure.
Junebug's up on the wheel tonight, boys.
And Daryl, I think they've given him something he can get up on the wheel with tonight.
You know what? I read where Stevie Letarte said, Dale, we didn't give you what you needed last year, but we're bringing you the best we got this year.
8 laps to go in this segment. Hamlin, Kenseth, and this side-by-side battle for third. Earnhardt and Ambrose.
Oh, it's a hard pass to make right there underneath somebody, and he wasn't quite able to finish the pass.
And right behind that battle right there, wild thing. Kyle Busch in that 18. Remember, 4 fresh tires at lap 20.
Oh, Junior's got a runoff too this time.
Yeah, he got him up the hill. He's going to get the nose alongside. Here he goes. Should be able to make the pass.
We'll get him this time here. 1 outside at your door.
Whoa!
Oh, Ambrose sticks it right in there.
Pour it down in there.
Will it be enough?
It's a slide job. He did it.
Earnhardt to third.
All you got here. All you got. We got 7 more. We're going to have to pay for fuel next time.
And up front, Kenseth goes hunting the lead on Denny Hamlin.
Look at the run he got, Mike.
Hamlin comes up to cover, and Kenseth settles in. Meanwhile, Earnhardt is closing slowly on the 2 leaders.
Daryl, I believe Kenseth is a little better down in 1 and 2 than Denny Hamlin.
Let's see what they do on this end of the racetrack this time, Larry. Kenseth takes the middle to the high side. Hamlin sticks to the bottom. Is he going to get that run? Kenseth get that run up off of 2? Nope, can't make it.
Meanwhile, Kyle Busch's run to the front has been thwarted by Paul Menard, who is giving Busch fits side by side for 5th.
Whoa, got a little squirrely off there at turn 4. Everybody does, though.
Well, that allowed Bowyer and Biffle to pass.
Man, look who came to the party.
Ding, 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 ding. And for the lead, here comes
here we
Kenseth.
go. We got action everywhere.
Remember, Brad Keselowski in that 2, he came to pit road and got fresh tires on that last caution. He's headed to the front.
It's paying off right now. Matt Kenseth trying to lead the end of segment 2. 3 laps from now. Pit road closes once again.
Boy, those 4 tires there right at the end of these segments really pay off.
One of these 3 drivers at the front with so much love to win this segment. You heard Steve Letarte. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will have to pit this next caution. All 3 of those drivers will need fuel.
But only one of them is going to get a front 4 spot for the final pit stop.
Just not real sure if Junior's got enough grip to get by that 11 car, although he's looking underneath. But that momentum off of 2 falls back in line.
A lap and a half to the next competition yellow, which is scored at the start-finish line, not at the moment of caution. Because by then the leaders will be around on the back straightaway.
Junior's looking again. He's got a nose up there alongside getting into 1. If he could just get a little further, can't quite do it.
And Hamlin gets the big run off the top of the corner.
Yeah, this battle's going to go all the way through 3 and 4.
And Trevor Bayne has hit the wall coming off 2.
Come on, keep coming.
As they come around to
Junior's got
complete lap 40.
Got him that time.
Matt Kenseth leads segment 2 from Earnhardt, Hamlin, Ambrose, and Allmendinger. Caution flag waves. Matt Kenseth picks up the second front 4 position coming onto pit road before the final segment. Chief Jimmy Fennick. Here's Trevor Bayne, who did not bring out the caution with this incident.
Yeah, you see the back end of the car just gets loose, steps out, and you just chase it up the hill. Makes a light, just a little light contact, not anything serious. And you see those numbers at 21 on that car. That's a little different font than what they normally run on the car. That's the way Glenn Wood ran to 21 back in the day.
So 2 segments complete. 2 segment leaders, Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth.
Gosh, what if we had somebody that had been in the race that we could talk to?
What would you ask him?
What would we ask him? What's it like out there tonight?
Let me tell you, my hands are still shaking. It's insane. I came up here. I want to watch this thing. This is unreal. You're driving out there. You can't see it. What's that? Oh,
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we are.
All right, I'm a little mixed up. I was driving, and I was driving hard. The cars are moving around, and it's treacherous, it's fast, and I don't know. I got to see a little bit of it there on TV. It's cutthroat. Guys are really going hard. Here comes pit stops, and the strategy, I can't keep track of it, so I'll let you guys do it.
I got you.
Dick Berggren.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to take 2 tires. They're mostly worried about his exit. They're afraid others are going to be pitting as he leaves. Steve.
Mark Marcus Ambrose slides to a stop. He's saying his car is tight through the middle, but the rear is a little edgy. He said, I need more rear grip. Matt.
Steve, after the first segment, Denny Hamlin said he just didn't know what to do with the 48 car of Johnson because he seemed so strong. This last segment, the car really tight for Denny Hamlin. Also looking at the 17 of Matt Kenseth. Now he has his spot locked in for that final deal. He says now we can prepare for the final segment. The car, as the fuel load burned off, went tighter and tighter. So they made some adjustments to prepare for the final.
All right, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s fears were unfounded. Everybody was already onto pit road as he made the exit from his stall. 5 drivers stayed out. Actually, 9 drivers stayed out. We'll recap those when we come back. Speed's presentation of the NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race presented by Sprint. Avoid data dilemma with truly unlimited data. Go to sprint.com/speed. And brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram. And by Sunoco, the official fuel of NASCAR. Follow Sunoco Racing on Facebook. The top 8 stayed out. Keselowski, Kane, Harvick, Stewart, Biffle, Martin, Smith, and Bain. Matt Kenseth came back in, made another pit stop. Michael, Jeff, what do you think of this strategy?
I mean, I think that's the right thing to do right now. They are going to try to take advantage of getting their car in position with the most amount of fuel and the best tires as you go that way. But there's a lot of other things. I mean, Larry McReynolds said at the very beginning of the program, strategy is going to be all over the board, guys.
Well, I don't understand for sure about Jimmy's strategy. You don't know exactly what your car is going to do if you hang back.
Yeah, and these guys right now aren't the guys that I'm worried about. That front, that is a mess. I mean, these guys are racing for position to be in the position that Jimmy and Matt are in right now.
All right, let's find out who the 3rd driver is that will be in the front 4. Headed for pit road at the final stop. Brad Keselowski leads them to green.
Now, Brad Keselowski and Kevin Harvick in the 29, they only have 10 laps on their tires.
A little bit about the strategy. You don't want to, wow, look at this. You don't want to take yourself out of the feature in a heat race. And that's what the $1 million race is.
Denny Hamlin dives for 11th spot in car 11. Jeff Gordon outside. Kyle Busch inside, trying to move up with him.
It's almost like Jeff Gordon has a fresh tire car. He can only go for a few laps unless they're making the right adjustments for him.
And Gordon brushed the wall.
Yeah, I just haven't seen Jeff be real happy with his car. They might make him happy. They might get him happy, but he hadn't been.
2nd place, Kane outside, Harvick inside. They're about half a second behind Keselowski. Now Biffle comes into play and Ambrose lurking in 5th.
Just remember, Casey Kane, that's a backup car that saw its first laps. That 5 car, when we dropped the green, he crashed qualifying last night.
It's a good thing drivers have short-term memory loss, because every time Casey goes into 3rd turn, he's got to think about what happened last night.
Ambrose under Biffle, trying to take away 4th place.
Ambrose stayed out that first caution, but he got 4 fresh tires on his 9 car this last one.
Well, how about this? Jimmy Johnson just ran the fastest lap of the race 2 laps ago.
I'm telling you, we don't need to second guess our 5-time champion. They've got a plan. He gets far enough back. He lets things sort out. He's finding out what kind of changes this racetrack's going through.
Also, Keselowski, Kane, Earnhardt, and Allmendinger just ran their fastest laps of this race.
Well, that just tells you about the track. It just gets faster and faster as the evening gets on.
Two laps ago, watch Dale Jr. in the 88.
He's
behind Stewart. He's going to cut way down. Whoa, passing the grass style.
Yeah, you hit that right there a lot. You'll notice there's dirt on the track. Guys will clip that little corner there a lot.
Worked pretty good for his dad back in 1987.
That's right. Earnhardt motoring away from Biffle. You heard a little wheel spin there.
Boy, Biffle's car really got bad loose up off of 4 that time.
Oh, not a good night for our pole sitter. Kyle Busch dropped way back in this segment, back as far as 17th. Trying to regroup and move forward now as he fights Paul Menard for 14th.
Watch this bad boy here. Watch that 16 up on the outside. Coming. Yippee.
When you say right there, you've probably crossed the 180 miles per hour mark right there.
And you got your big old foot in 850 horsepower.
Keselowski and Biffle, 6th place.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Allmendinger and Biffle, teammates.
Allmendinger in that 22 car, he came to pit road again and got 4 fresh tires on that last caution.
That's right. His teammate Keselowski is the leader by 4/10 over Casey Kane.
I'll tell you, both those Dodges, Penske Dodges, are pretty steamy tonight. They got some smoke under the hood.
I've been watching Casey Kane. Let's see if he does it this time in that 5 car. He is riding right against the wall at both ends of the racetrack, and he's chipping away at Brad Keselowski in that 2 car.
Oh, yeah. I think he's got his courage up, Larry. I think that wreck last night is behind him, and he is standing on the gas.
Kane looking for the high line in that backup Farmers Insurance Chevy.
That's the highest I've seen anybody run the entire turn 1 and 2.
And look what a difference it makes down the straightaway. We know Keselowski's not getting out horsepower there. That's the run off the corner.
But just look where Casey is. I mean, he is rim riding around this joint, and it's paying off.
He picked up 0.2 of a second down in 1 and 2, but gave a 10th back in 3 and 4. Ambrose and Earnhardt, 4th place. Harvick ahead in 3rd.
Junior been racing hard tonight. He has driven every lap hard.
Well, you've still got 2 chances to earn one of those front 4 positions on the last pit stop.
Tell you what I'm seeing, though, Larry. Casey Kane, like a couple other cars we've seen, he was able to catch Brad Keselowski, but it seems like once you get there, it's hard to bust through that bubble of air and make the pass.
Well, it's been anywhere from a 1/10 to a 1/10.5 a lap over the last 3 or 4 laps. Kane in the 5, running down Keselowski in the 2. He really runs in on him going into turn 3.
Carl, new rules by NASCAR this week, shortening the skirts on the sides of the cars. What's it done to the aero sensitivity of
I don't
these
know
cars?
what it's done to the aero sensitivity, but it has, the cars feel a little more precarious. Right now when you're watching Casey go into turn 1, right there, my Fastenal Fusion felt the scariest to drive. Not a lot of grip, and you can see Casey, he's lifting a little early on the entry, trying to get back to the throttle early, because when you dive in right here about 190-something miles per hour, the car does this little death wiggle. It scares you, and then you feed the throttle back in and it gets better. So it's a little different.
Yeah, that's what happened to Casey last night in the qualifying. You know, he went into 3 and he just lost it.
You know, you think about what Casey's doing right here, Daryl. Casey is driving so hard, he's wiggling, he's sideways, he's running 190 miles an hour. Carl talked about how loose it is on entry, but that's not stopping Casey. You win, you're in. Casey Kane wants to win so bad right now. He's driving his rear end off.
He's building his courage. You look
That's
every
what I'm
lap, he's building it up, and I guarantee you he's going to be racing hard.
6 laps to go in segment 3 as they come by this time.
Somebody said, did he get hurt last night? I said, just his feelings.
Boy, he really pulled up on the rear bumper, Keselowski, that time. Brad goes through the middle of the corner a little better.
Yeah, he's got to run here, though, Larry. This could be a good move.
We'll see how brave he is, because when you right here at this point in the corner, you're going, man. When he changed it up. Brad started to block. Casey took the opportunity, went down there, and Brad's starting to drive defensively, and that's good for Casey.
That was a good move, Carl. He saw what Casey was doing. He blocked him.
It's like in baseball, you got to hit them where they ain't. That's what Casey Kane's trying to do, go where Brad Keselowski isn't.
No, brother, he threw him a curve.
I have a feeling Casey's going to try to hit this next one. I mean, this is it. This could be for $1 million. Casey knows it.
Remember the move that A.J. Allmendinger pulled against Jamie McMurray. Watch for that. He may get to that quarter panel and lean on him a little bit.
And Brad doesn't have the experience right now that Casey has on the top. So if Casey can keep working him over like that, he might get another shot at it.
Carl, I'm going to tell Brad you said that.
No, I just mean the recent experience. The recent experience. But you can tell him that's fine.
Casey's going to get about 4 more pitches to hit here. We're 4 to go as Harvick holds off Allmendinger for the moment for 4th. And now A.J. powers through.
If A.J. Allmendinger could ever get to the front, I think he would stay up there.
Casey looked low, nothing there. 3 laps to go in segment 3.
Whichever driver wins this segment, they will be the 3rd in order to enter pit road at the end of the 4th segment. Oh, by the way, these segments pay $50,000 apiece to win.
I tell you that Keselowski is just a little wee bit quicker. Casey gets that big run down the back straightaway with that Hendrick horsepower. But Brad is able to run the bottom here. He opens up a gap a little bit and is able to hold him off.
Boy, Casey got a good run off 4. Here he comes. Brad comes up to block. Casey to the bottom. Dives it low. Looks for the lead. Gets it by a couple of feet. But Brad comes back.
Can't make it stick on the bottom. Just can't have the grip to get up off that corner underneath him. And look how it hurts. You get that big run off it too when you run high, but it kills you off of the bottom.
Yeah, Keselowski really gets a launch off the corner when he's up high.
Well, he caught him because Brad ran a low line in 3 and 4 the last time by, and that's how Casey caught him. Brad saw that wasn't going to work.
1 lap to go in segment 3. Earnhardt 2.5 back, Allmendinger 5, Ambrose 6, and Gordon 6 back of the lead.
It's going to be 1 more dive right here.
Last chance for Kane to grab that front 4 spot for segment 3. And Keselowski hugs the bottom.
But here comes that 5 car off the corner. He's going to get a look under him as they come down here to the line with 1 to go. He got him. He got him.
He did.
Scoreboard flips to Kane.
He timed it perfect coming off 4 back to the line.
He got that big run off of 2, and he was able to make another big run off of 4 and made the pass.
We'll have to wait and see. NASCAR will review it at the line because our scoring changed because of the positions after the start-finish line.
Let's see.
So let's have a look.
Let's see what happened here. Come on, boys.
At the line to complete segment 3, Keselowski.
Yeah.
By inches.
Another close finish.
But what that little difference truly makes when we get ready to make that pit stop before that last segment.
And you know what, these guys, that's a backup car, guys. That thing saw the racetrack tonight when the race started.
That's the best backup car since it rained here on lap 1 of the All-Star race, and Jeff Gordon had to pull one out of the trailer and won in a backup car.
We all know you got to have a good backup.
Carl, that's why Kenny Francis loves Casey Kane. He was determined to grab that spot 0.06 of a second short. You showed that same desire last year racing for a championship. That's what I love about our sport. When you just roll up your sleeves and go out there and give it all you had, and that's what Casey did there.
I think that is a little glimpse of the future of this race right here. I think there's going to be a lot of things happening on the last couple of laps for $1 million. And Casey's still in a good position. He's got good track position. And now it comes to Jeff Hammond and the crew chief. What would you do right now?
Right now, you've got to make a decision here. I think track position, I think Darrell Waltrip said at the very beginning, you know, track position is going to be the king, but they're saying right now that, hey, we need 4 tires, so here they come.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Brad Keselowski pits out of the first position, and that was so important because that will give him an advantage in the last pit stop. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the lower left as well on pit road. What a run he has had tonight. Jr. really likes the car.
And the 24, Jeff Gordon says his car, that last run was much better. Still a little tight, but much better. That was his biggest issue down in 1 and 2 the previous segment.
Boy, what a traffic jam in the middle of pit road, and that just foretells what will happen at lap 80 when everybody has to come on pit road at the same time. And some of those cars pitted up at the turn 4 end of pit road, Keselowski, they'll come in early, but they might have trouble getting out as everybody else is still coming to pit road.
Well, Jimmy Johnson cruised to victory in that first race in the first 20 lapper, but these last 2 have been exciting, tight.
Definitely what I saw, though. Most drivers got 4 tires because even though they have a mandatory stop at the end of this segment, the minimum they have to do is just stop and go.
Brad Keselowski's pit stop, left sides, and a tire rolls away out of the box.
Let's see. What's the penalty? Tail end of the longest line? I don't think he has a problem doing that right now.
No, he just says, I'll go to the tail end of the longest line. Thank you very much. Here comes some lonely boys on pit road.
The leaders of the first 2 segments coming in as expected to leisurely top off and resume the guard of honor position at the tail end for the restart.
Yep.
You know, it's a strategy. It's what you've got to do thinking ahead to $1 million.
They didn't come over here and wonder what they were going to do. They knew what they were going to do before they ever got here.
Everybody else is going to battle for segment 4.
Carl, did you have enough gas to stay out?
I hate to admit it, but I don't think if we'd have taken fuel right now, this is our plan. We were planning on winning a segment, taking fuel right now. We were really close, and since it's only green flag laps in that final 10, you know, I think it'd be kind of close. Now, maybe I messed up. Maybe we were one segment earlier. We were going to be close on fuel. Yeah, so these guys will be good right now. Just ignore what I just said. I'm not really helping the broadcast right now.
I mean, the question is, could you go 45 laps or 55 laps?
55.
Okay.
So there you go. Never mind. Disregard. They've got it figured out. I don't.
Hey, Daryl, we're really excited down here. We're trying to figure this stuff out. We're flying by the seat of our pants. We love the action that we're seeing, and Carl and I are confused.
Well, you know what? Your math's not very good. I know that. And you're supposed to be able to be the one that can do the math.
Looking over the pit stop in review. What'd you think of Dale Jr.'s pass in the grass? I mean, it was every bit as much a pass as his dad's was 25 years ago. He was trying to defend his position, but without contact. We forget Bill Elliott banged into Dale Earnhardt twice before this and almost sent him spinning. But Earnhardt hung on to the lead, which Elliott and Terry Labonte later got, but never mind.
I just called that
Dale came back.
A sensational move is what I call it. That was a whale of a save. Dale Earnhardt could do more with the race car than anybody ever saw.
He is a 3-time winner of the All-Star race that began as the Winston. Jeff Gordon has won it 3 times. There you see the 2-time winners. As we move to segment 4 of 5, and this, Larry, this is the segment where every position matters. Yes, the leader at the end of this segment will be one of the first 4 to pit lane, but then everybody else comes to pit lane for the mandatory stop in the order in which they finish this segment.
Well, and I think that's what Denny Hamlin in that 11 and Darian Grubb, they're going to give it one more gallant effort trying to win a segment, because outside of Kurt Busch, the 51 that stayed out, Denny Hamlin's the only driver that went with just 2 right side tires. Every other driver, 4 tires on that stop.
But I think the imperative is further back, because if Hamlin leads the end of this segment, he comes into the pits 4th. If he finishes 2nd at the end of this segment, he comes into the pits 5th.
Do you remember, though, what Chad Knaus told Jimmy Johnson in Darlington? We've made our bed, and we're going to have to lay in it. You're going to have to get up on that wheel.
Okay. And you know what else I've seen all night long? You get up front, you're probably going to stay up front. I watch the lap times, the guys that can get up front. It's so hard. You can catch them. Hard to make a pass, and you don't have but 10 laps to do it.
I think the big fight in this segment is going to be from 4th down through about 10th place. Hard Parts is coming right after the All-Star race, between the All-Star race and Victory Lane tonight. Special 30-minute preview right after our coverage of the Sprint All-Star race.
What you want to do, Mike, if you can't be in those first 4, you want to be just in a position where you can miss it if they wreck. That's where you want to be.
Jimmy Johnson continues to make adjustments on his race car.
Polishing it, waxing it.
There was once a race team, Car and Driver magazine had a race team called Bolus and Snopes. They ran the 24 Hours of Daytona, and they made a pit stop late in the race to wash the car. No other reason, just to wash it. That's kind of what Jimmy and Chad are doing here tonight in these segments.
Look good, man.
Yep.
You know the two drivers I like in this segment right here, they're on that second row. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88, A.J. Allmendinger in the 22. Remember, started at the rear of the field of this race. They finished first and second in the showdown, and they have 4 fresh tires. I think they're continuing to possibly add a little bit of tape to the front end of the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson's. Puts a little more front downforce, helps the aero drag.
Yeah, I saw a crew member stick that on there on one of their pit stops.
Kurt Busch did not stop. He's not been on pit road for 20 laps, and he is the leader in the James Finch number 51. Then Hamlin, Earnhardt, Allmendinger, and Kane, the 3 segment leaders restarting out back. And here we go for 20 more.
The 51 car had a lot of damage to it in one of the earlier segments, but this is a good test. See if you can get out front. If the guy out front can stay there, looks like he has all night.
The Dinger comes out of that 3-wide battle, drops it down to the bottom, and runs side by side for third with Denny Hamlin. Busch and Jr. pull away. Kasey Kahne coming now, moving up for 4th.
Hey, I like that Allmendinger car. He has been really, really fast, and he's got a good shot here getting up into the first couple of cars here.
Boy, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just ate Kurt Busch up in that 51 car through the middle of 1 and 2.
Drag race down the back.
And Busch on 20-lap tires trying to hold off Jr.
Whoa, he won't hold him off there. Up the hill he went. Here comes Jr.
Kurt Busch is not giving up the lead without a fight.
Imagine that.
We got 2 more players while they're fighting.
Junior got a little sideways there in the bottom of the turn with 1 and 2. Lost a little ground.
And Allmendinger is right there, and so is Kasey Kahne. 2 drivers that raced their way into the All-Star race. Bottom of the racetrack, 1st and 3rd.
Well, 3 of the top 4 started at the rear of the field of this All-Star race, including Kane in the backup car in the 5.
Tell you that 088 car, once she gets out front, she's hard to catch.
But I promise you, there is no one in this sport who wants to win more than A.J. Allmendinger. Kane almost got up and into the 51.
Thought he was going to lose it, but he hung on.
What car control?
But Kurt Busch in that 51, much older tires, sparks flying out from underneath that thing, driving the wheels off that 51 car.
Sure determination, that's all it is, sheer determination.
Junior on point, Allmendinger, that yellow car, 2nd, and Michael Waltrip knows better than anyone what it means for your first win in Major League, big league stock car racing to be right here on All-Star Night.
It just means the world to a race car driver, Mike. You know, winning the big events during the course of the season, that's what it's all about. You circle them on your calendar, and when you're able to pull into victory lane and see the look on your crew's face, the crew is such a big part of this event. The All-Star Pit Crew Challenge, the fact that they're involved in how you qualify here, and you make them happy, it makes you a pretty proud driver.
I'll never forget that, Michael. When I asked Hammond, I said, who won the race? He said the 21 car. I said, 10-4. The 21 car!
Hey, Darrell, there was a lot of people that said that.
Yeah. I know it.
But watch Kasey Kahne in 3rd. Look how high he is on the racetrack, trying to wind up and carry all the speed off the corner he can muster.
Yeah, let's see what he does in 3 and 4, Mike, because I've been watching him. He's only been doing it in 1 and 2. He's running the bottom in 3 and 4. You see him right here.
That's kind of customary here. Kind of find the end. Oh, got a
Another
smoker.
Roush.
Got a big smoker off 4.
Craig Biffle.
That's the 2nd Roush Fenway car and driver to lose an engine tonight. The other one's sitting in the Hollywood Hotel.
He exceeded his parameters.
He's on fire.
Same thing as Carl. Same thing. Ooh. Yeah, I'd get ready to bail out of that baby, Greg.
That is pretty spectacular.
And it looked a lot like Carl's, only worse.
You bring a lot to this race.
Man, is that thing... Come on, buddy, get out of that thing. I don't like the looks of that.
Here he comes.
A lot of smoke.
Greg's a tough guy. Yeah, the Roush engine, Doug Yates, everyone, we brought some special stuff here, stuff that we wanted to try. The thing that happened with our car, and I don't know if it's the same with Greg's, is we had it taped up. We were running more temperature in the oil, more temperature in the water. Look, Greg's saving that car. He didn't want it to hit the wall. He reached in and put it in gear. But our engines were running well. We were just taxing them, making them, using every last bit we could, and we had them break.
I've seen that happen over here. Back in even 85, I saw one do that.
You timed it better, though. You timed it a lot better than we did.
Well, you know what, though, Carl, Michael? You build special engines for this race.
Yes, we did. And Doug told us that that's what we had. Doug told us we had special engines, things that were going to be different, things that we're going to try. And I'm telling you, special or not, you look down all, I mean, I had more blinking red gauges on my dash for that whole event than I've ever had. So we were pushing them hard. Yeah, that's the guy that's worried right now.
Well, when
Matt can make it work if anybody
He hadn't been using his very hard lately. He won that segment. He checked out on him.
Yeah, he was hoping to make a deposit tonight, but he may have to make a withdrawal.
Pit road is open. We have a couple of, well, a lot of takers in the back part of the field.
Well, just remember, this will give them fresh tires, and we're going to have less than 20 laps to go in the entire race by the time they get all this cleaned up.
Steve.
And that's exactly the train of thought in the 51 pit of Kurt Busch, Larry. They wanted to go ahead and take the tires now. Kurt Busch saying the car is a little bit tight. Matt.
And Denny Hamlin has tried different lines. His car, especially tight off the gas. They knew they were going to lose track position, so they bit the bullet now. A little bit of fuel to help with the nose weight. He's away.
Bit of a long stop for Ryan Newman and for Brad Keselowski.
We're going to have a bit of a long cleanup here, too, man. That's got oil from turn 4 all the way to the back straightaway.
And Tony Stewart still on pit road. Some bear bond going on the front valence of his car.
Told you there were going to be fireworks tonight.
Yeah, but Greg Biffle did not count on being the firework. Under caution in Stock Car Racing's All-Star Night.
We are under caution in the Sprint All-Star Race. The laps are winding down. We are actually in segment 4 of the 90-lap event inside the Hollywood Hotel. And Carl Edwards is joining us because, unfortunately, you are not still racing, but you said things were precarious. That was the word you used out there.
Did I say precarious?
Yes, you did. And it seems like that's exactly what it is right now.
Guys, they're driving very, very, very hard out there. The cars are going really fast. They've got a lot of grip, and it's really difficult to run side by side. But everyone's out there fighting for $1 million, and it was precarious among other things out there for me.
I thought you said they were going insane.
Insanity comes to mind. Crazy, scary, wild. I mean, it's hard racing.
All this is taking place at 200 miles an hour, too, by the way. You know what I love, though? It says in the Bible, who is last will be first. And that's what we have now. The 3 guys that started at the back of this baby are up front racing to win this final segment to position themselves for a chance to win $1 million and what I think is one of the coolest trophies in NASCAR.
I know it's definitely that way, but right now, this caution, in my opinion, is really helping the 88 car, allowing him to cool those tires down. He gets a whole shot. I don't think anybody's going to catch him for this segment 4.
I can't believe Michael Waltrip just quoted a Bible verse during the All-Star race. I guarantee you there's some praying going out there, though. There's praying going on in those race cars. Guys are, way want that $1 million.
Well, there was some praying going on up in the booth when I said it says in the Bible.
I think we all sort of paused, yeah. But there is still that final leader to come, the segment 4 leader, who will get that coveted position along with Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, and Brad Keselowski.
Well, Krista, 8 drivers stayed out on this caution. I think these next 6 laps could be as wild as the final 10. Because, Darrell, this is your last best chance to put yourself into a position to win.
Here's what I would advise you to do. Grab those gloves and pull them on up over them elbows and grab them belts. What, Larry?
Pull them tight one more time.
Get ready to go for a ride, boys.
You spent yesterday hanging out with Cale, didn't you?
I did on Cale. No neck and them gloves up over his elbows.
But pit road is going to be out of control when we get that caution, because every driver will have to come to pit road. But I think regardless if you pitted then or you pitted on that caution there at the end of the third segment, it's going to be pulling your pit box, stop and go. You are not going to waste any time doing anything.
Well, there's no time to work on your car during the mandatory pit stop. And John Darby said he told his inspectors, he says, I want those tires locked up. I want you to be able to read the Goodyear on the side of the tires and let them go. It's going to be interesting.
Good job.
Top 2 cars are the top 2 from the showdown. We already have our 3 segment leaders out of 4. How about Matt Kenseth's strategy? Matt Yoakum.
Mike, 2 laps ago, Matt came on the radio and he had Jimmy Finnick use the binoculars from the pit and look at the left front tire. He felt like the tire was going down. Jimmy said it looked good to him, but not taking any chances. They waited to the 1 to go, brought him down, and put 4 fresh tires on the 17.
But that is such an advantage. He's getting those 4 fresh tires now. That's going to be much fresher tires than these other drivers.
Well, we
You know, this could turn out to be A.J. Allmendinger all over again. He had a flat on the first lap of the sprint showdown and came back to qualify. And now, look what Matt Kenseth's done.
I guess they worked on it. Yeah.
The camera even made it look like he was maybe getting just 2 tires to get 4.
He was in a skid plate race. He'd only need to get 2.
Coming to green this time, there are your 3 of the front 4. We listened in on A.J. Allmendinger.
Hey, Todd. Yeah. Are you having fun down there yet? Just sitting back eating ice cream. That's what you do, man. That's what you do best. Sitting up here in the suite watching you guys. Wow, rough day, huh? Get up in the suite? Usually you're up there on top of that spawning stand.
Sitting on the pit box eating ice cream. Boy, that's right out of Days of Thunder. Little Robert Duvall. Here we go, and Junior gets a big jump on Allmendinger. Ambrose, high, wide, and racing for 3rd place through the Speedy Dry.
Yeah, Allmendinger might have been maybe not talking on the radio and get ready for that restart.
Boy, Ambrose, like he was launched from a slingshot.
Boy, you got to watch out for that stay dry over here when we get around to turn 4. Could be a little treacherous up high.
Well, Marcus will be on the bottom, and 8 wheels corner better than 4.
Still in the stay dry, the dust flying.
Tell you, a driver that's come to life is Jeff Gordon in that 24 car right there on the bottom, battling his teammate Casey Kane on the 5. That's a battle for 4.
Jeff Gordon, you never can figure him out, Larry. About the time you think he's done, he always comes back.
Well, these 5 laps, every position matters, because that's how they'll line up to come to pit road before the 10-lap shootout.
I don't reckon there's any driver that I know that's probably, when there's $1 million on the line, that Jeff Gordon doesn't seem to get a wake-up call.
Earnhardt, Ambrose, Allmendinger, and Kane. Dale Jr., fastest lap of the race right then.
That bad boy likes to be out front in that clean air.
That just happened.
And Marcus Ambrose just ran his fastest lap in that 9 car as well.
Setting up for a little shootout here in just a few more laps.
In fact, on that lap, Ambrose, Allmendinger, Kane, Jeff Gordon, they all ran their fastest lap, as well as Trevor Bayne.
Oh, these guys have been holding back on us all night.
Business is picking up. We're just getting started, fellas. 2.5 laps to the final scheduled yellow of the night. And Junior well out front.
Biggest thing Dale Earnhardt Jr. don't want to see is a caution right now.
Look at these 3. Look at these 3. They're having a little race amongst themselves.
Yeah, way back. A straightaway ahead of the leaders. They've got to stay on the lead lap now.
And they will. They don't want to abuse those 4 fresh tires they got. They want to save them for those 10 laps. That's the reason they're not running any harder right now.
And you could say that's, well, this is not fair, but it is. It's part of the strategy.
Pit road is closed. Those 3 drivers, if they stay on the lead lap, are guaranteed the first 3 entry spots to pit road on the mandatory pit stop. That is coming up in a lap or so here.
Yeah, their lap times is in the 32 and 33 second bracket. Our leaders in the low 29s right now.
Kurt Busch just ran his fastest lap of the race. And we will complete lap 80. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the segment 4 leader after coming out of the sprint showdown. Ambrose second, Allmendinger third, Kane and Jeff Gordon.
Take a little while to get the front three caught up.
Take about another lap.
Yeah, y'all slow down. We got to catch back up.
Keselowski, he's almost going to get lapped here before they complete lap 80.
Now the caution waves since the field has cycled through. And we set the stage for the final pit stop. They will reorder the cars. Jimmy Johnson first. He led segment 1. Matt Kenseth second. Brad Keselowski third. And then the finishing order from segment 4, beginning with Dale Jr. Let's check on strategy for this final stop. Matt Yoakum.
And Mike, right before that last restart, Jimmy Johnson told spotter Earl Barbin, I'm in tire conservation mode. And Earl said, roger that on the tire conservation. They're ready for this dash for the big money. Dick.
Well, Brad Keselowski has certainly put himself in a terrific position because he is going to be one of the first 4 to pit. That is going to give him a real advantage, and with those 4 fresh tires, strategy may help him win the race, Matt.
Absolutely. Keep an eye on the 17. He has been strong all night. They worked their strategies just like the other segment winners, and they are ready to roll here. Steve. Dick.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been told by Steve Letarte, his crew chief, just stop. Tires aren't rolling and then go again. I remind you that Junior is not going to have fresh tires when they take the green flag for the restart of the final 10-lap segment.
So the freshest tires will be Brad Keselowski and Matt Kenseth are on 7-lap tires. Jimmy Johnson and Ryan Newman are on 8-lap tires.
We're trying to figure it out right now, guys. We got notes.
We got to figure it. We got to figure.
All right, tell me what you got figured out there, crew chief.
What I've got figured out is the 48 car is in the catbird seat. He's got pit number 1 because of the pit crew competition the other night. Jimmy Johnson, all he's got to do is roll in there, stop, and beat him across the line. He will be the one who will bring him back to the green flag. Plus, he's already got the tape on the front nose like Chad wants. All the adjustments made. I like where he's at, and I like what's happening.
The other 3 segment winners, too, obviously will have some great track position. Then you have to look at Denny Hamlin. He's the first one on the track, he and Kurt Busch, that got those tires during the caution for Greg Biffle. So they've got fresher tires than some of the guys that they're going to be racing around, so that could play into the finish as well.
Too deep in the field unless they have trouble up front.
Here's what I love, though. Everything we have done this week, the Pit Crew Challenge, the unique qualifying, the driver introductions, the showdown, it all boils down to 10 laps.
Aren't you happy? I love it.
I'm stoked.
What are your hands sweating for over there, Carl?
You guys, I don't know if I can describe you how hard those guys are driving out there. Michael knows, but having just been out there in that race car, this is it, guys. This final restart, too wide, barreling down to that corner with the track slippery, the cars are aero loose. It's really, really intense.
I got one question for you. As a driver, how do you be careful enough on this start? And saying Jimmy Johnson, I believe, is going to be the man leading them down, not to spin your tires and get yourself in a position right on the get-go.
You're only careful on the start. After that, the guys, there's in a battle of chicken down there in the corner, a game of chicken, nobody's lifting. Guys are going to be,
folks,
they're going.
First thing first, Carl, the pit stop. At risk, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Mark Martin, A.J. Allmendinger. They have the first 3 pit stalls. They're going to be in and wanting to get out as other drivers are still coming on to pit road. This is going to be tough for them. Dick.
And Junior has just been called into his pit. Let's go immediately.
Whoa, he just about hit 55 in the rear coming in. He almost hit the 39 going out.
Matt.
And while all that action's going on, the 17 of Kenseth hits his box, comes to a stop. He pulls away. The 48 as well. Battle out pit road. Who's going to win him, Mike?
Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth is first out.
Jimmy got a bunch of wheel spin, and he couldn't get going, and Matt shot right by him.
It looked like Jimmy made some sort of adjustment there on the grill. They did something. They took that extra second. It cost them.
Wouldn't it be awful if you took time to put a piece of tape on there and it cost you being the first car off pit road after all this strategy?
Let's have a look at Jimmy Johnson coming out of the pit box.
He can't get going. See, spinning, 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 and there goes Matt. No wheel spin.
He might have beat him the line. I think he beat him the line. There it is.
And
that's the line.
Wow.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson won that battle right there.
That goes back to
Well, which
that was a stop and go for sure.
we were looking. I think the tires were stopped.
They were sliding momentarily.
Now, Dale Jr. did not. He had a little bit of a problem. You heard the call coming out of his pit. A.J. Allmendinger was not impacted because they chose to keep him in and service the car and not just do a stop and go.
Yeah, they changed 4 tires. They've been trigger happy with him tonight, changing 4 tires.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I know it paid off in that 20-lapper, but this is a 10-lapper here.
Here's what we're talking about. Junior comes in.
Yeah, watch the 55. He's the first one that's going to go across his nose about right there. Then the 39 in him right there.
Now the restart order is by the way you come off pit road for 10 laps for $1 million. Steve, Marcus Ambrose has been one of the big surprises tonight.
He is a surprise, Mike, and when the caution came out, he told crew chief Todd Parrott on 3 different occasions, do not touch this car. It is great. So they came down for the mandatory stop. He stopped just long enough to adhere to the rules, then took off. They didn't do a thing to that car, didn't touch it, didn't put gas on it, not a thing. Marcus Ambrose said it's time for me to be aggressive.
Well, Steve, I can guarantee you one thing. They're going to go in the first turn side by side. The 48 and the 17 are going to get a little body contact. And up the inside is going to go Keselowski with Earnhardt on his tail.
Well, the pit crews did their job and held position. They didn't do anything. How much? Well, all right, Michael, come on. Cut me a
I think
break
some
here.
of them were pushing the cars.
They called him in, they got him out. All right.
That was driver stuff there. Those guys were on it. It's not easy just to stop in that box and get 850 horsepower rolling either, is it, Paul?
Not when you know there's $1 million on the line. It's hard to stop.
You got no chance. You
I'm
got
going to grab
2
another
drivers
beer
down there.
because I'm outnumbered. I got 3 drivers and 2 crew chiefs, and I'm outnumbered. All right. The drivers did their job.
All I can tell you, boys, is I told him who was going to come off pit road first, and what happened? He came out first. That's all I got to
Shows
say.
you how important that pit crew challenge was that got him that pit stall for Jimmy Johnson.
Exactly right.
Hey, and Michael, last is no longer first. First is now first.
Don't you start, Daryl.
Hey,
Hey, the Bible says run the race to win the prize.
Watch this 9 car. He has been amazing on restarts. The crazy Australian could take them 3 wide. Carl talked about a game of chicken of 2 wide when they get to turn 1. It might be 3 wide when they get down there.
Oh, no, the action's going to be off at 2 back there. Watch it.
The 3 drivers I like are the 3 drivers at the front. Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski. Remember, they came to pit road and did not even restart the race on their fresh tires until lap 74. So they realistically only have 6 easy laps on those 4 tires.
They're just scuffed in ever so slightly. It's a match. It's a perfect set of tires. Match numbers, the best that we got.
And we hadn't seen what Jimmy Johnson's really got, I think, since lap 20.
You agree with that, Harry?
I do.
You know what Marcus Ambrose said this week? He said, I spent the last 6 years trying to build friends in the garage. I'm probably going to lose them all in one night.
We need a heart rate monitor graphic.
Tasmanian Devil's getting ready to be turned loose.
This is no holes, no limits barred right here.
Well, leading a segment really mattered because the 4 segment leaders emerged from pit road as the 4 race leaders, followed by Ambrose, Kane, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Kevin Harvick, and Trevor Bayne, the top 10. Johnson, Kenseth, front row, Keselowski, Earnhardt, row 2. Here we go for $1 million.
$1 million restart right here. Here we go.
Boy, Matt Kenseth did not get a good restart, and that held up drivers like Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88.
They better not let that 48 get gone. Once he's gone, it's over.
3 wide, Gordon on the outside. That resolves itself. It is Johnson, Keselowski.
This is a bunch of hungry hounds right here, buddy, nipping at your heels.
Ambrose, 3rd place, battling Kenseth. 9 to go for $1 million.
Yep, 900,000.
How about that driver in 5th?
Kurt Busch in that 51. He's got fairly fresh tires on that car.
I tell you, Keselowski, he's hungry, man. He's going to hang with Jimmy Johnson. He's not going to let him get away.
Ambrose may have brushed the wall off turn 4, but it doesn't matter. 8 laps to go.
There's a bunch of guys that may have brushed the wall. They're all pushing it hard. What they run that time by, Larry? 58-54.
Our top 5 drivers, they just ran their fastest lap in the 82 laps that we've run so far.
That's right. Qualifying laps, baby.
3rd place. Matt Kenseth takes it back from Ambrose. But does he have enough time to make up the 2.5 to race leader Jimmy Johnson?
When you're sitting there just like Brad Keselowski is, that's $1 million sitting out there in front of you. Can't quite get to it.
Dale Jr., Kurt Busch. 6 and 7. Kyle Busch up for 5th.
Just think about it. The 48 car won Darlington last week. The 2 car won Talladega the week before. Our last 2 winners battling it out. And the Daytona 500 winner not far behind.
Marcus Ambrose in that 9 back there in 4th place. He's about to have his hands full of Kyle Busch in the 18 car.
You want to hear music as a driver? You're pulling away.
And he definitely pulled away a bunch that time. About 3/10 Jimmy Johnson beat Brad Keselowski.
And that thing is on a rail. I mean, he is right on that white line, digging.
If we get a caution, remember, this is 10 green flag laps in this second segment.
4th place side by side. Here they come. Ambrose outside. Kyle Busch inside. The pole sitter didn't fare well in segments 3 and 4, but has made a nice recovery in this 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, that's a strong move right there to get by Marcus, because Marcus has got a fast car. Nice move by Kyle getting into turn 1. I think they got that 18 car off a little bit in a couple of those segments, but got it back too late. Car's fast now.
3 to go.
Yeah, Ambrose is starting to lose some ground there in the 9. You see Dale Earnhardt Jr. riding with him. He's going to take that 5th spot away from Ambrose.
You know what, though, Larry? No matter what happens the rest of these last couple of laps here, Dale Jr. has had an awesome evening.
He really has.
2 laps to go. Keselowski making microscopic gains on Jimmy Johnson. 1,000th here, half 100th there.
Yeah, actually right now probably too little too late, but Matt Kenseth is a little bit quicker than Keselowski.
Well, boys, the white flag, the flag of surrender. I surrender all, boys, because the 48 is all long gone.
Three cars pull away. Johnson, Keselowski, and Kenseth. For the 3rd time in the history of the All-Star race, Jimmy Johnson and the Lowe's Chevrolet are going to victory lane and $1 million.
Awesome job. Jimmy, you made my strategy easy tonight, buddy. Thank you. All that stress for nothing. Man, Mr. H, this has been a big week for you, brother. You deserve it, buddy. We love you, man. Man, that's a heck of a job, buddy. You made it look pretty easy. Yes! It was awesome! What a week we're having. I don't want it to end.
Jimmy says, I don't want it to end.
Don't blame you, young man.
Well, we come right back here next Sunday night for the Coca-Cola 600.
And I'd take that thing home and clean it up and bring it right back.
The money he won for 90 laps, he made $11,348 a lap tonight. Not a bad payday.
And I'd be real careful with that thing right here, right now. Don't want to damage it. Like Carl did last year. We don't want to slide her up in the wall.
Don't think he's worried about saving that engine.
If he scoots that nose up against that wall, Chad Canal should be upside his head.
Now that should have won the burnout contest right there. Doing a burnout right up to the starter stand, grabbing the flag and driving away with the wheel still spinning.
It's a little $1 billion move, boys.
Jimmy and his team, they absolutely had the perfect strategy, and it started when they won that first segment.
There's Rick. Going to go over and say, hey, boss, I'll buy dinner tonight.
Hop on.
Oh, he's going to get on there with him.
Hitchhike.
That is awesome. Been years since we've seen somebody ride on the car to Victor Lane.
I don't know if he can or not. He's going to try. Come on, buddy. Don't hurt yourself. He looks a little, Rick looked a little nervous. Where are you going? The victory lane's the other way.
Well, that's true, but this is the Sprint All-Star race, and the procedure post-race is a little bit different.
Oh, he's going to take him down the front straightaway and let him wave to the crowd. Awesome, awesome, baby. Hang on, Rick.
7th All-Star win for Hendrick Motorsports, and that is certainly worthy of a drive-by salute.
I love this. Holy cow.
Mike, you may have said it, but he joins an elite group. Jeff Gordon and Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s 3-time winners of the Sprint All-Star race.
I just hope Rick can hang on till they get over there where they're going. He's just barely hanging in that thing. That's a moment. Can you imagine 200 wins last week?
On the side of your race car.
Come over here tonight.
Yep.
What a proud moment.
Beautiful.
That's Chad Knaus, crew chief.
Darrell, race after race, in the first 10 races, the look on Rick Hendrick's face when they couldn't get that 200th last Saturday night, now this Saturday night.
I felt so bad for him at Martinsville. I mean, they had it 1, 2, 3 finish, got away.
Jimmy's crew all offering congratulations. Dick Berggren.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been watching all of this, wishing he had been the driver. Certainly a terrific run, but how tough is it for you to run that well and still not drive it into victory lane?
Well, the car was good. I want to thank all the people who donate to the Dale Jr. Foundation. I want to thank my sponsors, Diet Mountain Dew and National Guard, for giving us the opportunity this weekend to raise awareness for the foundation. And thanks Chevrolet and Sprint and NASCAR for putting on this thing. It's a lot of fun. It really is a good weekend. So fans, we had an awesome crowd here. But the race was good. You know, we really didn't adjust on our car. It was pretty quick all night, all day yesterday. Just, you know, need to start on the front row at the end, I think. Especially the big guys as good as that 48 team. But I'm proud of our effort tonight and look forward to next weekend. We got a good car, probably bring this one back.
Indeed. Watch for Dale Jr. next weekend, Matt.
Absolutely an incredible drive also by Brad Keselowski in the Blue Deuce. How would you describe that final dash for the Big Cat?
It's all about the restart, you know, and I was hoping we'd get a yellow and I'd get another shot at Jimmy, but I think we saw all night the high line on the restart just wouldn't go. So I don't know if I'd have been able to do anything, but I'd like another shot. But I thought I could do something with him the first few laps. I thought we might have been just a touch faster, but just wasn't meant to be. So proud of our effort, and I'm really proud of my team. I think we're a really young team that's growing and getting better every week, every day, and every hour. And this was a showing of that tonight in the All-Star race. We got beat by a 5-time champ and a 2-time All-Star winner. So, you know, I think we're doing pretty good. But I want that one more spot, man. And just didn't have enough to pull it off tonight. But we'll come back next week for a 600 with another great Miller Lite Dodge.
Incredible night. Next week, one of NASCAR's crown jewel events. Mike.
Thanks, Matt. Both of the first two finishers ran their fastest lap with 8 to go, and they were within 7/100ths of a second of each other. Pretty evenly matched, but yes, Chad Knaus, Jimmie Johnson had the winning strategy, had the will to win, and yes, now they've got a million reasons to celebrate.